Do you feel like you're always running out of time? Do you feel like you could be more productive if only you had more self-discipline? This audiobook will help you develop unbreakable habits, conquer procrastination, and enhance mental toughness so that success comes easier to you.
Hello, this is Harrison Walton, and you are listening to Self-Discipline and Time Management. Develop unbreakable habits, boost productivity, conquer procrastination, and enhance mental toughness to amplify success in business, health, and relationships. Provided to you by United Audiobooks. I hope you enjoy my audiobook. Now let us begin.
Introduction. What is self-discipline? We've all experienced it before. There's something we have to do, but even though we know this, we can't convince ourselves to sit down and get it done. Instead, we are overwhelmed with all of the distractions surrounding us. Our thoughts run rampant, eclipsing the voice in the back of our head, telling us to get back on track. We feel out of control, like we can't take charge of our own actions. Temptations are all around us, and foolishly, we keep giving in to them. If this scenario resonates with you, then you are more than likely suffering from a lack of self-discipline. Self-discipline is all about being able to have control over yourself and what you do, say, or think. Because we live in a society that prioritizes pleasure over logic, we fail to realize that self-discipline is integral to our success in life. Without self-discipline, there's very little we can accomplish, no matter how big our hopes and dreams are. We can't get to the place we want to be in life just by dreaming. Achieving success requires action. Self-discipline is important for a variety of reasons, but the major one is the fact that having self-discipline can completely change the trajectory of your life for the better. You will not only be more healthier and happier once you master self-discipline, you will also find that you are a much more successful person in business, relationships, and numerous other areas of life. If you are reading this book, you may have low expectations for yourself and doubt what you are capable of achieving. Self-deprecation is no longer looked down upon. Rather, it is expected. We limit ourselves by downplaying our abilities, and as a result, many people do not realize the power that they have within them. No matter how much you feel like your abilities are lacking, you are capable of achieving great things, both in your professional life and your personal life. You have the strength deep inside you to fight your way through anything life throws at you, no matter how tough. Developing a strong sense of self-discipline can completely change your life. This is coming from someone who has experienced firsthand how self-discipline can lead to great success. Before gaining a strong sense of control over my life, I often felt hopeless and lost. Now I am on track to achieve many great things, and I consider myself a highly successful person. I firmly believe that I would not have been able to achieve what I have today if it wasn't for the fact that I dedicated myself to learning about self-discipline and how to apply it to my own life. If you feel hopeless, you are not alone. By picking up this book, you are already on the path to success and to leading a fulfilling life. All of your dreams are attainable, and this book will show you how to begin taking steps to make your dreams a reality. Turning the next page is your chance for a fresh start, one that will completely transform your life as you know it. Chapter 1. The Proof Behind Self-Discipline. Self-discipline sounds appealing as a concept, but what is the real scientific evidence behind it? You may be doubting that self-discipline is anything more than some words that people use to convince themselves that their life is on track. In actuality, self-discipline goes much deeper than this, and there is plenty of scientific proof to back this up. The key to academic success, for example, is not having a high IQ, but rather having a firm sense of self-discipline. A study conducted by University of Pennsylvania psychologists Angela Duckworth, Ph.D., and Martin Seligman, Ph.D., found that in a group of 8th graders, students that ranked high in self-discipline had better grades, attendance, and standardized test scores than those with a high IQ. Therefore, self-discipline was determined to be more important than IQ scores in predicting one's academic success. In addition to this study, research done by June Tangney, Ph.D., and her colleagues found that students' scores for self-discipline and self-control were correlated with higher grade point averages, better self-esteem, lower levels of binge eating and alcohol abuse, and healthier, stable relationships. Developing a strong sense of self-discipline in childhood can also be a predictor of your success and health as an adult. This is not to say that you cannot develop healthy self-discipline as an adult. However, studies have proven that children with high levels of self-discipline and control grow into adults with better physical and mental health, fewer substance abuse problems, fewer criminal convictions, and more financial security. Self-discipline and willpower impact all areas of one's life and act as a predictor of how successful you will ultimately be. It is important to note that, though classifiers such as having high or low intelligence or being rich or poor do impact many areas of life, self-discipline still strongly controls and predicts adult success, regardless of these classifiers in childhood. A study of 1,000 children that took place over a 40-year period found that, regardless of how many children were classified, having self-control as a child was a strong predictor of success later on in life. Enhancing one's level of self-discipline can greatly reduce social problems that one may run into later on in life. Self-discipline levels in childhood go as far as impacting how successful of a parent an individual is. Within this study, those who had low levels of self-discipline in childhood were more likely to eventually lack skills in parenting compared to those with high levels of self-discipline in childhood. A lack of control, therefore, does not only impact you, but the generations of family that come after you. Many of the individuals studied with low self-control eventually became single parents with unplanned children living in a low-income household and struggling with various issues such as substance abuse, criminal records, and poor health. Finally, one of the most telling pieces of this study is the analysis of how having self-control impacts mental health in adulthood. This study found that of participants who scored in the bottom fifth levels of self-discipline and control, 22% of them had attempted or died by suicide by the age of 38. In contrast to this, only 7% of individuals in the top fifth section of self-discipline scores had attempted suicide by this age. Individuals with poor mental health oftentimes have low levels of self-discipline, which increases their propensity to be unsuccessful in life and to suffer from a variety of mental health issues. Furthermore, studies on large samples of individuals over long periods of time have proved the importance of self-discipline in living a successful life. In a sample study of over 1,000, New Zealanders found that self-discipline within the first decade of one's life predicts future success in terms of income, savings behavior, financial security, occupational prestige, physical health, mental health, substance abuse, criminal convictions, socioeconomic status, and overall intelligence. Therefore, one can note that self-discipline is one of the key indicators of how successful an individual will be within their lifetime. Though it is best to develop self-discipline from a young age, note that if you have children, you should make sure to teach them principles of self-discipline. Gaining a sense of self-discipline is possible no matter how far you are into your career. If you have found that you struggle to succeed in areas such as business and relationships, then you should start focusing on your levels of self-discipline. Even if you believe that you have some sense of self-discipline, this can always be improved. It has also been found that individuals who report low levels of self-discipline are more drawn to people who report high levels of self-discipline. If you feel that you are lacking in self-discipline, then you will probably notice that when seeking out partners, you tend to go for people who have a more developed sense of self-discipline. As an individual with low self-discipline, you are at a disadvantage to those who have higher levels of self-discipline. As you can already see, those with high levels of self-discipline are generally more successful in life. Without your own sense of self-discipline, you instinctively search for a way to cope. And oftentimes, instead of focusing on developing your own self-discipline, you feed off of the self-discipline of others. Research has found that when studying individuals with low self-discipline, these people consistently viewed others with high levels of self-discipline more positively than people with low self-discipline, whereas individuals with low self-discipline tended to prefer people with high self-discipline. Those who already displayed high self-discipline typically did not have a preference. Through this study and similar studies, one can infer that the desire to have high levels of self-discipline exists in everybody, even those who do not put in the effort to discipline themselves. Therefore, People who do not believe that they have self-discipline compensate for this by seeking out partners who evidently have self-discipline. These people believe that relying on others with high levels of self-discipline and self-control will help to make up for their own lack of these traits, leading them to living a more successful life. However, this is not true. Regardless of whether or not you ride on the back of someone with self-discipline skills, your own success in life will not improve unless you focus on gaining control over yourself and developing your own sense of self-discipline. The ability to have and exercise self-discipline separates humans from the rest of the animal kingdom. Self-discipline has roots in the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for planning, problem-solving, and decision-making. This section of the brain is notably larger in humans as compared to other animals, making our capacity to practice self-discipline and control greater. Because of the prefrontal cortex, we all have the ability to discipline ourselves and resist taking part in activities that we will later regret. Though some believe that self-discipline is a finite resource, many scientists argue that even those with low levels of self-discipline are capable of exercising this part of their brain. Research has found that in order to gain a greater sense of self-discipline, one can use a system of rewards, routines, and mindfulness practices in order to develop healthier habits and regulated behavior. As you can see, self-discipline is not merely an invented concept. It is a legitimate predictor of success in life, backed up by science. When an individual has low levels of self-discipline, they've been proven to struggle more throughout their life. Ideally, one develops self-discipline in childhood. These people tend to be the most successful in terms of business and relationships throughout their life. However, if you are reading this book, you are likely an adult who struggles with self-discipline. Even though the statistics of adults with low self-discipline can be troubling, this does not mean that you have no shot of gaining better control over your life. Yes, you might have gotten a late start, but this by no means indicates that you should give up entirely. Self-discipline is possible, no matter how late in the game you start. Where do you start building your self-discipline? It all relies on the mindset. Chapter 2. Developing a monk-like mindset. The perfect model for what self-discipline should look like can be found in the monk. The monk is one of the key symbols of self-control. He is in charge of his own life, confident in his abilities, able to control his actions, and avoid any temptations that may come his way. The monk has mastered self-discipline through hard work and dedication and does not stray from the path. In fact, studies have found that monks are the happiest, calmest, and most focused human beings in the world. One of the best things that you can do for yourself when you are working on your own self-discipline is to turn to the monk and learn from him. His lessons are invaluable. Thinking and acting like a monk can completely transform your life for the better. However, though this is a good idea, it can be difficult to figure out where to start on your journey of developing a monk-like mindset. There are many practices that monks follow, and trying to incorporate all of these practices into your life can feel overwhelming, especially if this is your first real introduction to self-discipline. When you are working to adapt the mindset of the monk, take things one step at a time. Do not try to incorporate all of their traits into your life right off the bat. If you do this, then you won't learn anything of real value, only surface-level information. Beginning to think like a monk starts here. The methods listed below can provide you with a starting point for shifting your mindset into that of the monk. Move at your own pace, but try to incorporate at least one of these methods into your everyday life as you learn to master the art of self-discipline. No matter how slow the process, it is vital that you learn to live like a monk if you want to achieve self-discipline and shape your life into one of success, happiness, peace, and fulfillment. Learn to let go of judgment. One of the main things that the monk has mastered is not to judge situations as good or bad. Judging situations or people that are out of your control causes you to have a narrow mindset. When something major occurs in your life, do not deem it as being a good or bad thing. Rather, think of it as life unfolding in front of you. When we are too critical of a situation or a person, we cause our own suffering and pain. Judging does not benefit you in the long run and simply diminishes your ability to control yourself. After all, How can you control yourself if you focus on controlling everything else? Don't shy away from fear. When we are in a frightening situation, we naturally shy away from it instead of facing it head on. Though pushing our fear away may seem to help us in the moment, it is ultimately a detriment to our development of self discipline. When you find yourself feeling fearful, take a moment to acknowledge it and engage with it. Ask yourself important questions. Why am I afraid? And how can I constructively overcome this fear? By doing this, two outcomes are possible. We release the fear, or we understand what valuable lesson the fear is attempting to teach us. Stick to a daily routine. Eliminate the dangerous temptations in life by sticking to a daily routine. Creating healthy routines that we practice on a daily basis eventually becomes automatic, leading to a much healthier, happier life. Limiting temptations, even by doing things as simple as avoiding your phone for specific parts of the day, can lead you to being more successful in your life. Take time to sit. It sounds simple, but one of the main practices of monks is taking time to sit and meditate every day. This practice of mindfulness improves both our mental and physical health and keeps us focused on what is important in life. More than anything, this helps us to remain present instead of dwelling on the past or the future. If you feel like sitting does not help you meditate and remain present, then take up other healthy practices, for example, running on a daily basis, to remain in the moment. Focus on what is necessary. To think like a monk, you need to eliminate everything in life that is unnecessary. Whether this is frivolous worries, unhealthy habits, destructive relationships, or anything that does not benefit you in any way. In the life of a monk, nearly everything they do is necessary and serves a purpose to their life. Everything is basic. His clothes, his food, his devices, and his shelter are not needlessly flashy and extravagant. Think about what you really need in order to live a happy life. When you look critically at what you have, you will begin to realize that much of it is not adding anything to your well-being and is therefore not needed for you to feel fulfilled. Learn the 5 elements of a happy life. To live life with the mindset of a monk, then you should be focusing on 5 specific elements: beliefs, thoughts, words, actions, and intentions. These concepts are integral to improving your life and overall success, so be sure to gain a deep understanding of them. Even if they seem like simple concepts to follow, they actually hold much more depth than you would assume. Beliefs. Every single person in the world has their own belief system, and you are no different. Because of this, you will inevitably run into people who have beliefs that differ from your own. When you encounter these beliefs, the most important thing you should do is begin asking questions. Be open when you meet other people and ask them about their beliefs. This is not disrespectful. Rather, it is a way for both of you to grow as a person. By getting perspective on others' belief systems, you are potentially learning more about the world at large and about yourself. Thoughts. Our thoughts control us more than you may think. The way that we talk to ourselves has a huge impact on our mentality and outlook on life, and therefore can impact our success and overall drive to succeed. When we think negatively, we tend to act negatively and avoid potentially life-changing opportunities. On the flip side, when we think positively, we tend to have more motivation to strive for success and a better outlook on our future. Of course, it is natural that we all have negative thoughts from time to time. The key to dealing with these negative thoughts is to acknowledge them, understand them, and reshape them. If you find that you are putting yourself down, take note of this. Try to understand why you were thinking this way and how this thought is impacting your life and success. When you think about these things, reshape them in your head as something positive. Find anything you can to compliment yourself on, something that makes you feel confident in yourself and your abilities. By counteracting negative thoughts with positive ones, you can begin to have a more upbeat attitude towards life and your ability to be successful. Words. We often limit ourselves with the words that we use. For example, when we are feeling bad, we typically repeat the same thing: I'm sad. When we are feeling uplifted, we repeat the same thing: I'm happy. These simple words minimize the gravity of what we are really feeling. Expand your emotional vocabulary and find better words to describe your emotions. When you do this, you gain the ability to truly understand how you are feeling beyond the surface level. Not only will your communication improve, you will also gain a better understanding of yourself, your desires, and your abilities in life. Actions. Always pay particular attention to your actions, both conscious and unconscious ones. Notice the unhealthy habits that cause you to take actions in life that do not benefit you. When you really take note of these actions, you can begin reshaping them into something positive and will therefore find that you can cultivate happiness and success. Make small adjustments in your actions, one step at a time. Eventually, these small changes will build up, leading to a complete transformation in your life. Intentions. Focus your intentions on other people. As former monk Jay Shetty states, your major intention in life should be to leave every person happier than you found them, leave every place cleaner than you found it, and leave every project more productive than you found it. When you enter a new space, know all of your intentions. Find value in everything that you can, because everything in the world has value. Having good intentions is the culmination of all of these 5 elements, and maintaining these intentions is the true key to happiness, success, and fulfillment in life. As a result of focusing on your intentions, you will find that you are living a better life than you were before, and you will experience all of the happiness and peace that you desire. Every person that you come across with great self-discipline will have these key characteristics. Though they may take time to develop, a truly determined individual will be able to get in the mind of a monk when they put their full effort into following these steps. These are small adjustments that you can easily adapt to your everyday life in order to achieve your goals of becoming a self-disciplined person. The best time to start utilizing these techniques is now. Don't wait any longer. Take the steps and see how they can contribute to transforming your life as you know it.
I hope you are enjoying my audiobook so far. It would be a pleasure if you could let me know how you are feeling about this audiobook in the comments section below. We would greatly appreciate it if you could also like this video and subscribe to United Audiobooks to have access to more best-selling audiobooks in the future. Also, please, if you are interested in getting more free audiobooks, please click the first link in the description below. Now, let us carry on with the next chapter.
Chapter 3. Unbreakable Habits and Self-Discipline. We all have habits that we partake in on a daily basis. If you are struggling to develop a sense of self-discipline, then some of your habits are likely unhealthy and not contributing to your overall well-being. No matter how routine these habits have become, they are ultimately breakable habits, ones that you can get rid of with the right time and effort. Now that you are on the path to having strong self-discipline, it is time to focus on developing unbreakable habits that you will utilize in your everyday life. Unbreakable habits are a key part of self-discipline. All people have specific rituals that they may not even realize are habits. This could be waking up at a certain time every day, following a morning routine, checking your emails first thing in the morning, anything that you unconsciously do, as though these actions exist on a cycle. Though habits relating to your success and hygiene are obviously important to maintain throughout your life, you have also developed habits that you don't realize are harming you. Perhaps when you feel sad, you unconsciously turn to food, or maybe when you feel frustrated, you instinctively lash out at people. These actions have become so ingrained in your life that you might not realize how unhealthy they are. Even if you do recognize this, you may feel stuck, unsure of how to change the way that you respond to things. Creating unbreakable habits begins by understanding what habits contribute to developing self-discipline. Do you feel like you spend too much time per day in front of a screen? Recognize this and develop rules for yourself that you will not break. In this case, you could start by slowly cutting down screen time every day until you reach an ideal limit. Unbreakable habits are those no matter what habits, the habits that you do every day, week, month, etc. You do these habits because they are good for you, for your health, and for your development as a person. Committing yourself to honor these habits can have a huge impact on your success in life. And if you feel like you are not where you want to be, then developing unbreakable habits can change everything. Now that you know what unbreakable habits are, so what's next? In order to create unbreakable habits, you'll need to look to some examples of unbreakable habits that others have and that are proven to change your life for the better. The following are 5 of the best unbreakable habits to have and ones that you can easily implement into your own life. Exercise. Making exercise a part of your everyday routine is a great unbreakable habit for both your mental and physical health. Though you may assume that this is all exercise is good for, this is not the case. Exercise can actually make you a more successful person. A study published in the journal Personality and Individual Differences found that exercise does not only make us feel more positive, but also increases the likelihood that we will take more positive actions in our life. Another study, completed by a team of researchers at George Mason University, found that in a group of 179 college students, those who recorded exercise every day for a 21-day period also tended to participate in more social activities, engage in activities that mattered to them, and have more personal achievements than those who did not exercise on any given day. Look to the successful people around you and the ones that you see in the media. When you do, you'll realize that the vast majority of them exercise on a daily basis and stick to this routine no matter what. In addition to all of this, exercising daily increases your productivity, leading you to get more work done and improving how successful you are in business. Exercising also enhances your creativity, meaning that you can dominate at work and stay on top of everything your boss throws your way. Exercising helps to get you closer to your career goals and is a vital, unbreakable habit to have. Take care of your finances. Staying on top of your finances is another unbreakable habit that you should adopt right away. Commit yourself to saving a certain amount of every paycheck you receive. Do this as soon as you are paid to avoid spending recklessly. Saving anywhere between 5 to 15% of your income is incredibly helpful in both the short term and the long term. Making savings is vital if you wish to be financially successful in life. Another unbreakable habit that you should develop is making sure to pay off your credit card bills all at once and on a monthly basis. There is no greater threat to your financial goals and success than debt, and you will soon realize this if you get behind on your credit card payments. Finally, make sure that you are spending consciously. Successful people with self-discipline set limits for themselves and do not spend without considering the ramifications of the spending. Be aware of every dollar that you spend and make wise decisions when you are considering making a purchase. Resist the temptation to spend recklessly when it arises. Maintain a healthy diet. If you find that your diet often consists of junk food and processed food, then it is time to incorporate some more healthy, all-natural ingredients into your routine. Eating healthy gives you all of the tools that you need to be a successful person. When you eat healthy, you are more energized, leading to greater productivity. Eating healthy also does wonders for your mood, allowing you to have a more positive outlook on work and getting your tasks done efficiently. Having an optimistic outlook on life is key to being a successful leader and to maintaining self-discipline. If you find that you have the habit of overindulging in unhealthy snacks and meals, then you should work to break this habit and develop a healthy diet as one of your unbreakable habits. Waking up early. Starting your day off on a positive note is a crucial habit to build in order to maximize success. When you look at successful people, you will find that virtually all of them wake up early. Waking up early gives you the time you need to plan your day strategically and to get organized for the tasks that you will be completing. Once you start waking up early, you'll notice that you have more control over your life and your own well-being. If you're used to sleeping in and having lazy mornings, it's time to scrap this habit. Dedicate yourself to waking up early. In time, it will become second nature to you. Spending time with inspiring people. When you're looking to follow a model of success, turn to those who inspire you and who you wish you could be like. Develop the habit of primarily hanging out around people who are driven, motivated, and successful at what they do. If there are no highly motivated people in your life, then you don't have an example of how to achieve the success that you are looking for. Being around self-disciplined individuals makes you more likely to exercise self-discipline yourself. Avoid toxic and negative people. They will only bring you down and distract you from your goals. Get in the habit of spending your social time with the right individuals. Now that you know some of the habits that you should work to develop, the big question is how to get rid of your unhealthy habits and break free from the cycle that you are in. The idea that you can simply stop partaking in unhealthy habits suddenly sounds great, but isn't realistic, especially if you've been doing these habits for a long time. They are a part of your daily routine, and suddenly giving them up may feel impossible to you. The first step to getting rid of unhealthy habits is identifying your triggers. We all have them. Triggers are the main reason why we develop habits in the first place. Figuring out what your triggers are is vital to breaking the habits that are holding you back from success and self-discipline. Spend time tracking your unhealthy habits, noticing patterns when you take part in them. For example, does a certain negative thought make you reach for junk food? Is there a certain time of the day when you consistently take part in unhealthy habits, such as sitting in front of a screen after a long day at the office? Do the unmotivated people in your life keep you out late at night, even when you'd rather be at home? Recognizing potential triggers helps you to get rid of unhealthy habits. When you notice a trigger occur, take a step back and think about your next actions. Make the conscious decision to avoid partaking in the habits that you typically would when this trigger arises. Instead, try replacing these habits with healthy, productive ones that keep you on the track for success. Another way to begin breaking your unhealthy habits is to learn how to practice mindfulness. You've probably heard the term before, but actually putting it into practice is different than what you may think it is. Being mindful about your unhealthy habits gives you the ability to be fully aware of your actions, thoughts, and feelings. To be mindful about feelings that need to be broken, observe the impulses that you feel in relation to your actions. Do not judge these impulses or rush to react negatively to them. Simply acknowledge that they are there and consider ways that you could change them. Mindfulness gives you the ability to make changes to your life that will ultimately help you become more disciplined. When you are breaking these unhealthy habits, understand that there will inevitably be slip-ups. You're not perfect, and it is normal to make mistakes, no matter how dedicated you are to changing your habits. When slip-ups happen, don't beat yourself up over them. Acknowledge that this is part of the change and that change cannot occur all at once. It is a process. Slipping back into old patterns happens when we experience triggers. Learn from the times when you mess up and slip back into old habits, and consider the idea that there could be a different approach that you are taking in order to break these tricky habits. As you continue to work at ending your unhealthy habits, reward yourself with small things. This does not mean that you should reward yourself by letting yourself go back to your unhealthy habits for a bit. For example, if you have successfully been avoiding junk food, do not reward yourself by treating yourself to junk food for a night. This will only make it more likely that you will slip back into a pattern of eating unhealthy foods. Give yourself motivators to keep you moving along your journey. Telling yourself that you're doing well, boosting yourself up, and appreciating the progress you've made are small things that you can do to reward yourself and to remind yourself that you are on the right track. Ultimately, breaking unhealthy habits isn't always easy, but it is always possible. Dedicate yourself to finding new, unbreakable habits that you practice every day. These habits should always be aimed at improving the quality of your life, whether in big ways or small ways. Focus on what is feasible for you at the moment, and as you start to build these unbreakable habits, begin challenging yourself. Without unbreakable habits, you will not be able to achieve the self-discipline that you are seeking. Start recognizing what habits in your life need to be replaced, and begin taking the steps to reach this goal of total replacement. Chapter 4. Help yourself by helping others. One of the best ways to live a fulfilling life is to lend a helping hand to others. Self-discipline involves doing things for yourself while also doing things for other people in your life. At this point in the book, I am hopeful that you have learned many valuable lessons that you can carry with you in your journey towards becoming disciplined. Ask yourself this question: are you willing to help people, even people that you've never interacted with, simply because you want to support others along their journey? Would you do things on behalf of people that you do not know, solely based on the knowledge that it will help them and make you feel fulfilled? If you are willing to help these types of people, then I have one amazing, simple way that you can help out. The various people that you will help throughout your life are just like you. They might be in the same position, looking to become a disciplined person, but unsure how. They might be crippled by self-doubt and have feelings similar to the ones that you are having now, or perhaps they did in the past, but have now found self-discipline through the care of others. Years ago, I was in the position that you are in now. In order to reach my goal of helping as many people as I can along their journey to achieve self-discipline, I will need support in order to reach a wider audience. There are so many aspiring entrepreneurs out there who simply need that push to turn their life around. If you are satisfied with what this book has taught you so far, then the best thing that you can do to help me and others is to leave an honest review, something that can be accomplished in just seconds and that will cost you $0. Leaving an honest review will help many people, such as the aspiring entrepreneur looking to make their breakthrough, the person struggling with finding fulfilling, healthy relationships, the person who has goals that they don't know how to achieve, the employee searching for something that they love to do, the one who just needs a little push in order to change their life entirely. All of this can be achieved in just a few seconds and can help you to grow your self-discipline. I am beyond thankful for your support and eager to teach you more ways to become the most disciplined person that you can possibly be. When you give something valuable to someone, they will give it to you in return. Gifting this book to someone else can allow them to make the most important step in their life. Above all, I appreciate you for the time you are taking to support me and the inspiration that you are taking from my words. I hope that, as you continue to read this book, you find even more helpful ways to start developing your self-discipline today. Chapter 5. Helping Others and Increasing Success. One of the best ways to increase the quality of your life is not by giving to yourself, but by giving to others. Though it is, of course, to focus on what is good for you. This is by no means a reason to ignore the needs of other people around you. As the saying goes, it's better to give than to receive. And this is true for people who are looking to achieve great success in their life. Even though you may think giving to others and success have no correlation, there is ample evidence to prove that the two have everything to do with one another. As someone who is looking to achieve self-discipline and success, you must ask yourself if you are willing to give to others without expecting anything in return. The truest form of selflessness. People who give to others without having any expectations that they will receive something in return are generally happier, more fulfilled, and more successful in life. Adam Grant, a leader in the field of psychology, has hypothesized that the most productive and high-achieving individuals with the greatest sense of self-discipline are also the people who are most giving to others. Grant found that numerous studies show that people who make helping others a top priority were much more likely to be at the top of the success scale. It is also important to remember that acting in the interest of others and acting in the interest of yourself can be independent ventures. Just because you are giving to others does not mean that you can't give back to yourself. Being able to do both at the same time is the highest indicator that you will be successful. Those who only prioritize others risk getting behind in their profession and in their lifetime goals, while those who prioritize only themselves never experience the same fulfillment that individuals who give do. Thus, to achieve maximum success, you need to find a balance between the two. Think of it this way. You likely would not achieve the success that you are dreaming of entirely on your own. Rather, achieving success and self-discipline comes from a combination of your own willpower and the help of other people who give to you. Very few people can make it to the top without relying in some form on someone else in their life. This does not mean that you have to give everything to other people, but recognize that you would struggle to become disciplined if it wasn't for those around you who guide and mentor you. Take inspiration from those who are helping you along your journey and give the same energy to other people who are looking for guidance. In many ways, giving can help you to accomplish your own goals in life. If your dream is to be a successful and self-disciplined person, then you have to look at success on a broader spectrum than you currently are. Successful people change the world in some way, no matter how major or minor. If your dream is to have a world-changing impact, giving back to the people who need it is perhaps the most important impact you can have. Giving back ensures that you will never lose sight of what you do and the major difference that you can make in the world. In addition to all of this, giving back to people makes you a happier, more energized, and more productive person. Successful people will often say that giving to others is the highest form of achievement that they could have asked for, and that a truly wealthy person is one who is able to not only focus on themselves, but who can also focus on the well-being of those around them. Remember, giving to others does not always have to be monetary. It can be something as simple as brightening someone's day or giving someone thanks when they help you. Showing appreciation for others and acknowledging the work that they do is crucial to living a fulfilling life. If you're looking for ways to help others but are unsure of where to start, here are 4 ways to begin giving back to other people. Share your knowledge with others. Something as simple as sharing knowledge with those around you can be an incredibly kind way to give back. Be a teacher, even if this doesn't mean having a physical classroom filled with students. When you share your knowledge with others, you will also be inspired to learn more yourself. And acquiring your own knowledge is key to your personal success. Share your resources with others. It is important that you are grateful for the resources you have been given in your life. Think of how the resources that you invest in have been helpful to you and how they push you in the right direction along your journey. When you see someone who could benefit greatly from the resources and connections that you have, consider sharing these resources in order to make their life a little better. Give honest but not unkind feedback. Everyone has room to grow, especially when you are just starting out. As you continue climbing your way up the ladder, encourage people who are new to the game to come to you for honest feedback. When you are giving feedback, make sure that you are being transparent. This is the best way to help people truly grow in their business. Being transparent does not mean that you have to be unkind in your feedback. For example, there is a major difference between telling someone that they're bad at what they do and telling someone helpful ways that they can improve their work. Critically analyzing someone else's work ultimately makes you a better worker as well, as it gives you the space to reflect upon the job that you are doing and areas of improvement that you could also be making. Volunteer when possible. One of the most popular forms of giving back, and for good reason, is volunteering your time to others. Taking time out of your schedule to help people who are in need is fulfilling for both you and the individuals that you are aiding. This could mean volunteering for the less fortunate through a separate organization, or dedicating time to someone in your life who could use a helping hand. Regardless of how you interpret volunteering, make sure that you try to practice it as often as you can. You may be asking yourself, how does all of this connect back to self-discipline? The answer to this is very simple. When you begin the habit of helping other people, you are gaining an unbreakable habit that will improve your quality of life. As you work to develop unbreakable habits, prioritize giving back to others as something that you can do on a daily basis. One of the main traits of being a self-disciplined person is having the ability to lead others through your guidance and with your knowledge. When you give to other people, you are giving to yourself as well. You are developing a habit that will ultimately lead you to be a happier, more successful individual with a more fulfilling life. Ultimately, this fulfillment and success that comes from the habit of helping others is what self-discipline is all about. Start today by taking some time out of your day to help someone else. You will soon realize that this simple act makes you the best version of yourself. Chapter 6. The Toughness of Navy SEALs. Aside from monks, there is perhaps no one in the world more self-disciplined than the Navy SEALs. If you're looking to follow a model of self-discipline, the Navy SEAL creed spells everything out for you. I will never quit. I persevere and thrive in adversity. My nation expects me to be physically harder and mentally stronger than my enemies. If knocked down, I will get back up every time. No matter what comes their way, a Navy SEAL is always prepared. Their determination to come out on top never falters, even in the most difficult times. This is the kind of mindset that you need to build when you are developing self-discipline. Taking inspiration from the Navy SEALs and trying to live by their mottos can cause huge changes in your life. So what are some of the key traits of a Navy SEAL? For starters, Navy SEALs will fight for what they want and stop at nothing to achieve it. This is a result of the strong self-discipline that they have cultivated over time. When they see an obstacle, they will stop at nothing to overcome it. You need to develop this mindset and be willing to fight to achieve all of your goals. Simply wanting something to happen isn't enough. You have to put in the effort to get there. Navy SEALs also focus on things that they are afraid of, and then they tackle these very things. Consider what you are most afraid of in your life, even if this is something as simple as heights or roller coasters. If you want to be successful, then you cannot let your fears inhibit you. Everyone in the world has fears, but only the most successful people have the strength to face them head on and overcome them. You don't have to jump right into tackling your biggest fear right away. Start off with something small and less threatening to you, and slowly work your way up until you have ticked all of the fears off of your list. When you realize that you have the strength to overcome your fears, you will realize that you have the strength to do virtually anything. Navy SEALs are confident in their abilities and well aware of what they have the power to achieve. Remember that confidence is not the same thing as cockiness. Many believe that expressing confidence in themselves will lead to others perceiving them as conceited, so it is important to remember that this is not the truth. If you approach every obstacle in your life with confidence, then you are increasing the possibility that you will be successful. Don't underestimate yourself. If you do this, you are already accepting the possibility of failure, which should never be an option. Understand the strength of your own willpower. Once you do, you will be capable of accomplishing almost anything. If you want to have the traits of a Navy SEAL, then you also need to be comfortable making decisions and confident in your choices. In battle, Navy SEALs do not have the time to hesitate. They think fast and take swift actions without second-guessing themselves. If you put yourself off from making tough decisions, you are simply making it more difficult to trust your instincts. Next time a tough choice confronts you, make a decision fast and stick by it no matter the outcome. You are the most important person that you can trust. Navy SEALs are notoriously assertive people. To be a successful leader and have your own self-discipline, you must be strong in your convictions. Do everything with confidence and stand by your viewpoints, regardless of what other people may say. Navy SEALs are successful because they know how to assert themselves even when people disagree with them. They trust in their own mind enough to know that the opinions of others cannot sway what they know to be true. Put your views forward and do not back down from them if they are challenged. Now that you know the key traits of Navy SEALs, you may be asking yourself, what actions can I take to implement these traits into my own life? If you are lacking in these traits, then it may sound more difficult to become like a Navy SEAL than it actually is. Being like a Navy SEAL can actually be done with some simple steps that can make a huge difference in your life. To begin developing your own sense of Navy SEAL mental toughness, you can start with some methods that successful Navy SEALs recommend. Below are some small changes that you can make in your life to start thinking and acting with Navy SEAL mental toughness and to build up your self-discipline to achieve success in life. Practice deep breathing. Just like any human being, there will be times when you experience severe mental, physical, and/or emotional distress. Even when you have developed strong self-discipline, you can't avoid this stress from popping up from time to time. However, one way that you can deal with this stress is to practice deep breathing exercises. Distress can be controlled easily through deep, rhythmic breathing. Breathing has more power than anything else to control our fight or flight response when it arises, and helps us to think clearly and navigate our way through any challenges that arise. Another way to act more like a Navy SEAL that can be practiced along with deep breathing is using visualizations. Close your eyes and envision yourself in the place where you want to be in your life. Really put yourself in that moment, almost as if you are convincing yourself that the event has already happened. When a serious challenge presents itself, take some deep breaths and envision the steps that you will take to work through this obstacle. Once you master visualization, you will find that getting through tough times in life is much easier than you initially thought. Pay attention to past lessons. Nobody is perfect, but when you live like a Navy SEAL, you realize that you need to learn from your past mistakes instead of condemning yourself from them. Your actions in the past all serve to teach you a lesson about how to be a better, more adjusted person today. Use everything that you have learned in your life to your advantage and stay adaptable at all times. Always be willing to learn something new from the past. Make micro goals. Oftentimes, we falter because we make our goals too large and then are unsure of how to actually attain them. Focus on goals one step at a time. A Navy SEAL does not start the week with the goal of making it to the end of the week. Rather, they wake up in the morning and begin their goals by making it to breakfast, then to the next meal, then to the next action. Focus on what is feasible at the moment and tackle what you can. Getting too caught up in the whole picture leads to you becoming overwhelmed. Take things one step at a time and tackle your tasks in order of importance. Stress is not the problem. It is how you interpret and manage the stress that holds you back. Talk positively towards yourself. You can't have all of the strength of a Navy SEAL if you are constantly putting yourself down and limiting your abilities. Navy SEALs know that they are capable of great things, and they remind themselves of this fact. Navy SEALs think optimistically when they are faced with tough challenges and don't let negative thoughts take over their mind. When a big setback arises, Navy SEALs think in three ways. Bad things are temporary. 1. Bad things are temporary. 2. Bad things have a specific cause and are not universal. 3. It is not their fault when bad things happen. If you're used to being self-deprecating, it is time to put that habit to rest. You'll never achieve the self-discipline that you long for if you cannot keep a positive outlook on things. When you constantly think negatively, you are setting yourself up for failure. Know that talent alone won't lead to success. Many people believe that simply being talented is enough to succeed in life. However, you need to have more than sheer talent to achieve all of your goals and be self-disciplined. Talent cannot take you everywhere, and you will only get so far by relying on it. The most successful Navy SEALs are dedicated to hard work and are incredibly persistent. They learn from their past mistakes and adjust their actions to achieve success in the future. Above all, they are willing to fight for what they want. Destroy the competition. Don't back down in the face of competition, no matter how intimidating the competition may seem to you. Competition does not have to be tolerated, and you should not accept it without a fight. When you are on a path to succeed, you will inevitably run into some tough competitors who try to stand in your way, just as Navy SEALs do with their opponents. When competition arises, it is time to communicate with your team about the best tactic to take in order to destroy them, following your own instincts as well as the instincts of those who you trust the most. Don't quit when things get tough. Navy SEALs are not quitters under any circumstances. Most people quit too early, accepting defeat when they have barely put in any effort towards their goals. As human beings, we often put limitations on ourselves and our abilities without realizing the damage that this does to us. To be self-disciplined, like the Navy SEALs are, then you must realize your full potential and continue fighting even when your goals seem impossible and unrealistic. Be curious about growth instead of being afraid of it. There is always room to better yourself, but you will never be able to become better if you quit too early in the game. Understand that there is always more work to do. When you accomplish something big, you may be tempted to focus on that achievement for some time. When you do this, you lose focus of what you can be achieving next. Regardless of how big your most recent accomplishment is, there is always room to improve and make the next achievement even bigger. Don't let your standards slip just because of past success. Make sure that you always have a goal that you are working towards, no matter what you have already achieved in your life. Those who are truly disciplined, such as the Navy SEALs, are always focused on the journey of moving forward and the fact that there is always more work to be done. When you look at Navy SEALs, their self-discipline may initially seem intimidating. Understand that this is not the case. Every Navy SEAL was in your position at one point, looking to develop self-discipline, but unsure of where to start. Many Navy SEALs never imagined that they would have such strong self-discipline as they now do. No matter how unrealistic it may seem to you, you will get to the point where self-discipline becomes second nature. Continue working on yourself and never lose sight of the person you hope to become. Chapter 7. How to increase productivity. All successful people with well-developed self-discipline are highly productive. Productivity and staying on top of things is key to having good self-discipline, and you will find that you are unable to discipline yourself if you don't focus on getting things done efficiently. Remaining focused on your daily tasks is a huge step towards becoming more disciplined and successful, both in business and relationships. Despite your best efforts to be productive, you may find yourself falling behind and not getting everything done in a timely manner. For those of you who struggle to remain disciplined with the tasks of everyday life, here are some of the best ways to make sure you maximize productivity no matter what your day looks like. Stop multitasking. Many people falsely believe that multitasking increases productivity because you are able to get work done on multiple things at once. However, multitasking actually reduces productivity significantly, as much as 40%. In addition to this, a University of London study found that men who multitask frequently saw their IQ drop by an average of 15 points. On top of all that, a study from the University of Sussex has indicated that frequent multitasking is actually harmful to your brain, as it leads to lower gray matter density in the anterior cingulate cortex, which regulates emotional control, decision-making, and empathy. In other words, if you believe that your skills in multitasking help you to be more productive, it's time to shift that mindset and begin taking things one step at a time. Resist moving on to another task until you have completed your current one. You will find that you can get much more work done this way. Have self-imposed deadlines. The thought might be stressful, but giving yourself deadlines actually makes you work more efficiently and have a productive day overall. When you are looking at your next task, set a self-imposed deadline for when you need to have this task done by. Looking at the clock as you work inspires you to continue working and ensures that you will stay focused on the task at hand. When you're keeping an eye on the clock, you'll find that you become a much more dedicated and productive person. Get rid of distractions. Getting rid of anything that might keep you from being productive is key to increasing self-discipline. Some things that you should try to eliminate when you are getting work done include your phone, email notifications, your computer, and other web browsers that might be open. Minimizing these distractions keeps you focused on what needs to get done and what can wait until later. If you're able to, shut off your phone and other electronics when you begin your tasks for the day, and don't allow yourself to turn them back on until you've gotten enough done. Focus on the things that you can get done offline to avoid any temptations to scroll through the web when you should be getting work done. Prepare a to-do list and cut it down. To-do lists can be incredibly useful when you feel like you struggle to be productive on a daily basis. To-do lists help you to stay organized and make sure that you focus on what things need to get done. They can help you to remain focused and are especially helpful when you know you have to get things done, but aren't sure where to begin. Always prepare a to-do list the night before so that you aren't left searching for tasks to do in the morning when energy is highest. When you have your to-do list ready, focus on cutting it down where possible. You may feel tempted to write down every little detail on your to-do list, leaving you with dozens of tasks that can become too overwhelming. You need to cross some items off your to-do list before you start them, if you ever want to be truly productive. When you are looking at a long list, ask yourself what the most important tasks are and how many of these important tasks you can realistically get done in one day. Being productive doesn't mean getting an unrealistic number of tasks done at once. It means knowing what tasks have to get done and maximizing your time in order to get them finished. Work in 90-minute intervals. Then take breaks. When you work for too long at one time, you'll find yourself getting exhausted and moving through your work slower than you should be. People who are truly productive and self-disciplined understand the importance of taking short breaks from work. Researchers at Florida State University found that the most productive people work in intervals of no more than 90 minutes, while less productive people work in intervals longer than 90 minutes. Taking a break after this 90-minute period helps to improve your concentration, as people who take breaks have a more consistent performance compared to those who do not take breaks. Implement the 2-minute rule. The 2-minute rule states that any task that can be completed in under 2 minutes should be done immediately. Using this rule helps you make the most of the small intervals you have between tasks. Completing this short task right away saves you time from having to circle around back to it later. Say no. When you are working, you might feel the need to please everyone around you. When someone asks you to do something or asks for your help on something, you may be inclined to drop what you are doing to accommodate them. Lose the mindset that you always have to be available to other people. It will only slow down your productivity. If you don't have the time or the means to help someone, allow yourself to say no to them. Doing this ensures that you will get the truly important tasks of the day completed before moving on to the smaller things. Keep your body healthy. As you already know, exercising regularly and eating healthy is beneficial to you in many ways, including productivity levels. When you make exercising and eating healthy a priority in your life, you will have more energy to be productive throughout the day. This energy helps you stay focused during the entire day and ensures that you will not suffer from a sudden decline in energy partway through your tasks. When you take breaks, consider using them for exercise or make sure to get some exercise first thing in the morning, paired with a healthy breakfast. You can't be productive if your body is exhausted all of the time, so make sure to treat yourself with kindness and care in order to maximize your efforts at work. Even if you feel like you are a relatively productive person, there's always room for improvement when you are developing stronger self-discipline. You can always be doing more, especially if you stay focused on what is truly important. Following these methods will not only make you a more disciplined person, it will also help you to become more successful in life and will give you a more positive outlook on everything that you do. Get rid of the things that are holding you back from being productive and start embracing habits that push you forward towards your ultimate goals. Chapter 8: Self-Discipline and Success in Business. Now that you have a relatively good understanding of how to implement self-discipline into your own life, it is time to look at the real impacts that strong self-discipline can have on you. Self-discipline, as you know, is the true key to success. You cannot be a successful person if you are not strongly disciplined. One of the greatest things that self-discipline can help us with is our success in business. If you are looking to develop a better work ethic and climb your way up the ladder, then becoming disciplined is where you need to start. Self-discipline gives you everything that you need to succeed in life and reach all of the goals that you had dreamed of. A great example of how self-discipline can help you to thrive in business can be found in Steve Jobs. In order to stay disciplined and come out on top in the business world, Jobs used meditation to reduce stress levels, gain clarity on troubling subjects, and improve his creativity levels. To Jobs, self-discipline was something that needed to be practiced every day without fail. Repetition is key to building self-discipline, and Jobs was a great example of this. Jobs was one of the first hugely successful businessmen to show the real benefits of mindfulness for improving your creativity. Jobs was highly focused and never swayed from his main goals. Jobs also knew how to figure out whether a task was worth his time, doing so through this approach. Even if an idea is great, does it align with your overall goals? When you get a great idea, ask yourself if you are willing to make the necessary sacrifices for it to work. Learn how to say no to other people. Self-discipline provides you, as a business entrepreneur, with clear-cut goals of what you want to achieve and how to achieve it. The strength and level-headedness that comes from having self-discipline allows you to make the necessary decisions to be successful in your work and to look at everything in your business from a positive perspective. One of the other key benefits of self-discipline when it comes to business is that it gives you the power to confidently make decisions and to stick by these decisions no matter what. Regardless of what situation is in your business, having self-discipline allows you to stick to your plans and to see all of your choices through to the end. You cannot doubt yourself and your ability in business, or you will never be the successful worker that you dream of being. Only when you have developed strong self-discipline can you confidently make the necessary moves to improve your standing in the business world. Self-discipline transforms you from being a dreamer into being a doer. Without self-discipline, you can dream about your goals all that you want, but you will never have the skills that you need to make these dreams a reality. Self-discipline allows you to take the steps to achieve everything that you have wished for in business. Obviously, everything that you want to ideally achieve cannot be accomplished all at once. When you are self-disciplined, you have the inner strength that you need to keep moving forward despite any setbacks that you might face. When you fail, which will inevitably happen along the path to success, self-discipline will give you the strength that you need to pick yourself up and move forward again. You will take all of the necessary actions in order to reach the level of success that you want in life. When you're looking to climb up the ladder in your business, you have to maintain a certain level of consistency that is only possible when you have self discipline. To thrive in business, you must maintain a specific schedule, whether this is for releasing advertising, content, scheduling meetings, making important decisions, or anything else that has to be done on a regular basis. Self discipline gives you the power to stay consistent, and as a result of that, your business will continue to consistently grow as well. The willpower that comes from self discipline is unmatched and an invaluable tool to have in business. With willpower, you understand how to learn from your mistakes in business instead of getting down on yourself. Self discipline gives you the power to avoid making rash decisions that could cause damage to your work and your success. When an opportunity seems tempting, self discipline provides you with the tools to see if it is truly a good investment to make. Virtually all of your success in the business world can be attributed to self discipline, which is why self discipline is so important to begin developing now if you haven't yet. As you probably know, the business world can be cutthroat and incredibly challenging at times. Without self discipline, you will be inclined to simply give up when things get hard. Self discipline allows you to know your own worth and value and to truly believe in what you are capable of. To make sure that you are truly using self discipline to the best of your ability in business, follow these 5 tips to make all of your business related dreams a reality. Know your weaknesses. We all have them, and that is okay. Even the most successful businessmen struggle in certain areas. However, the differences between these people and yourself is that they do not let their weaknesses drag them down, but rather learn from them and work hard to improve the areas that they are lacking in. When you know your weaknesses, you have the power to address them and turn them into strengths. Do the things that others are not willing to do. Use your inner strength and self discipline to take the actions in business that other people won't take. When you truly have well developed self discipline, you have a genuine hunger to succeed in your field. Live the life that other people without self discipline can't, and prove yourself to be a leader in your work. Lean into discomfort. When you begin applying self discipline to your work, there will be a natural level of discomfort there. It's new to you, and you are probably not used to being so bold and decisive. Don't shy away from big decisions just because the idea of making them causes some discomfort. When you feel this discomfort and apprehension, understand that taking this action is the only route to causing significant positive change in your work. Make work your mission and love it. It is not only important to make work one of your top priorities, you have to have a deep, genuine love for what you are doing. Self discipline gives you the ability to do this. Cultivating self discipline begins with love. This love gives you the drive that you need to maintain self discipline and consistently make big strides in your field. Self discipline is driven by love, which causes you to constantly strive to improve your life and the lives of others around you. Maintain consistent habits. Remember your unbreakable habits. Always keep these consistent and do not fall back into the old habits that previously trapped you. Doing things randomly is one of the ways that you lose focus in life and in business. Stick to your habits no matter what and never waver. When you have developed the habits that you find to serve you best in business, always focus on them. As you can see, having strong self-discipline is the main way that you can thrive in business. You can't expect success in your field if you are not willing to be a disciplined person. So if your main goal is to be more successful and to thrive doing what you love, self-discipline should be your main priority. Gather all of the tools that you have learned so far and use them in a way that takes your business performance from average to exceptional. Chapter 9. How can self-discipline change my relationships? One of the most important things that having self-discipline can do for you is give you the ability to have more successful and fulfilling relationships with others. Self-discipline controls all other successful areas in your life, and relationships are no different. No matter how loving you are to a partner, you cannot expect any relationship to last if you do not have self-discipline. Self-discipline and self-control help you from acting inappropriately in the relationship. It gives you the ability to navigate through the tough times in a relationship and to make logical decisions when you are approaching conflict with your partner. If you have found that your relationships in the past have been largely unsuccessful and you aren't sure what's going on, it might be time to take a closer look at how disciplined you are when you are in relationships. When you act recklessly towards your partner, you jeopardize the entire relationship that you have carefully built. Impulsive partners are incredibly destructive and do not know how to hold back from doing things that they know will hurt their partner. These impulsive behaviors eventually become habitual, and the relationship slowly begins to fall apart. However, partners who exercise self discipline generally have happier, more fulfilling, and longer lasting relationships, as opposed to those who don't. If you are at a point in your life when you are ready to settle down and start looking for the one, you should first ensure that you are a disciplined person who is completely ready for the responsibilities that come with a relationship. So, what are some specific ways that having self discipline can improve your relationships? Below are some of the most significant changes that self discipline can make in a relationship, and why exercising self discipline in all of your relationships will allow you to be more fulfilled in your life overall. Self discipline is respected by your partner. In any relationship, mutual respect is key. You can't expect a relationship to be healthy or successful if one or both of you does not respect the other. However, if you exercise no self discipline, how can you expect your partner to have a real, honest respect for you? Being able to control your own behavior and making wise decisions will not only make a partner take you more seriously, it will also increase their trust in you and make them see you in a more positive light overall. Self discipline keeps you from making the same mistakes. Have you ever found yourself going back to an ex that you know is no good for you? Are you the type of person who breaks up with someone, then gets back together with them, then breaks up with them again? Do you not have solid boundaries set in place with your exes? All of these things are signs that you lack self discipline. When you allow yourself to get trapped in these patterns, you take away any chance of having healthy and fulfilling relationships. Cutting these patterns out and disciplining yourself is a huge step towards maintaining long lasting and rewarding relationships. Once you set boundaries with the person that you are seeing, you will find that your relationships are much smoother than they have been in the past. Self discipline makes you confident and self assured. People who lack any form of confidence will find that they typically struggle in relationships. When you don't feel good about yourself, you can't understand why someone else would like you. If you are not a self assured person, then you will constantly be turning to your partner for reassurance that they cannot always provide you with. When you are self assured, you are better and controlling and monitoring your behavior confidently. Doing so means that you will know how to act appropriately in a relationship and how to make sure that both you and your partner are fulfilled. Self discipline helps you approach relationship conflict. People who lack self discipline tend to fly off the handle more regularly than those who are disciplined. Without self discipline, you struggle to regulate and take charge of your emotions, and this can be detrimental to the overall success of a relationship. For that reason, you need to have well developed self discipline before you enter a serious commitment with someone. Self discipline leads to better communication that doesn't end up in you or your partner getting hurt by the other's actions. When your communication is better, your relationship inevitably becomes healthier and happier as a result. Self discipline ensures that both you and your partner's needs are met. In any relationship, there are specific things that you will need from your partner in order for everything to be successful. Self discipline contributes to this aspect of relationship fulfillment. When you are disciplined, you have a much clearer sense of yourself and what it is that you want and need from others. This allows you to express those needs to your partner, ensuring that the relationship remains fulfilling. When your needs in a relationship are being met, then you are less likely to feel unsatisfied with your partner. Self discipline helps you stay committed. If you dream about a long term relationship with the love of your life, you can only make this a reality if you have self discipline. When someone lacks self discipline in relationships, they are constantly searching for the next best thing, whether they realize this or not. Without self discipline, you can be completely satisfied in your relationship one minute and then have a completely different mindset in the next minute. You'll struggle to resist attraction to other people, and you will always be searching for something more, no matter how good your relationship is. When we are self disciplined, we have complete control over our thoughts and actions. We do not constantly spend our time looking for the next person, and we are not easily swayed by anyone who comes our way and is interested in us. Having self discipline means you can recognize a great thing for what it is and stay committed to the person that you truly care about. As you can see, there's always one common denominator for those who have a history of rocky, tumultuous relationships: a lack of self discipline. Without self discipline, you'll find yourself running in circles in your love life, always searching for something real, but never capable of achieving what you ultimately want. However, it is one thing to recognize that self discipline is key to every relationship. The question now is, how do I exercise self discipline in my relationships, and what changes need to be made in order to be disciplined with future partners? Luckily, there are very simple methods to improve self discipline in your relationships, methods that virtually anyone can adhere to. Here are 5 of the best things that you can do to practice self discipline in your relationships every day. Always work on your own self esteem. Prioritizing your own self esteem can be hugely effective when you are trying to stay disciplined in a relationship. When you have low self esteem, you will be more likely to lose control over your actions in the relationship, leading you to hurt your loved one. An example of someone in a relationship who lacks self esteem is the person who always ends up cheating because they are constantly looking for validation from someone else. When you make it a priority to constantly work on building your self esteem, you allow yourself to be a better and more committed partner. Practice mindfulness in relationships. Mindfulness is a useful tool when you are developing any form of self discipline. This includes self discipline in relationships. When conflict arises in relationships, you will be triggered into survival mode, and your fight or flight instinct becomes activated. You may often get caught up in past conflicts or worried about future conflicts in the relationship, causing you to shy away from your partner. Doing this does nothing but harm the relationship and lead it to its inevitable end. By staying mindful, you allow yourself to focus only on the relationship as it presently is. Mindfulness broadens our perspectives in life, giving us a better overview of the situation at hand and allowing us to regulate our emotions, thereby increasing our self discipline in relationships. Understand your values. Understanding your personal values helps you to pick the right partners to welcome into your life, giving you more control over who you decide to enter into relationships with. List out the values that matter most to you and search for partners who hold similar values. When you really stick to your values, you exert control over yourself, as you can resist entering a relationship with someone just because. So, when you are making a decision in terms of a potential relationship, return to this list of values that you have created. When you are able to control your mind by focusing on your values, you will enter relationships that are more fulfilling. Dance with desire. Because you have struggled with self discipline for so long, unhealthy desires may arise regardless of how happy you are in a relationship. However, you must remember that you have the tools to not give in to these desires. When you feel like making an impulsive decision, stop and think instead of jumping into it without considering the consequences. Research has shown that sitting with these impulses for as little as 10 minutes hugely improves our self control, allowing us to make the right decision. So, when you feel old habits beginning to show themselves again, use the self discipline that you have built in order to make the right decision for your relationship. Encourage communication every day. A lack of healthy communication skills is a huge reason why many relationships fail. Without self discipline, your communication skills will be severely lacking, and you will find that you impulsively lash out against your partner when disagreements arise. When you are exercising self discipline in a relationship, you need to make sure that you are encouraging healthy, productive communication. If you do something that hurts your partner, or vice versa, encourage them to talk about why they are hurt and how you can improve. Really listen to them and maintain your calm. This shows that you have control over your emotions and the discipline to allow healthy communication that leads to a more fulfilling relationship overall. Developing self-discipline in relationships is not as hard as it may sound. Regardless of your past relationships and how you acted in them, there's always room to improve. Your relationships in the past were unsuccessful because you didn't understand how self discipline could play a huge role in making the relationships fulfilling. Now that you have a better idea of what self-discipline is and how to practice it in every area of your life, you will find that your relationships become happier, healthier, and long-lasting. If you feel like it is time to settle down, then make sure you are following these methods to exercise self-discipline in your relationship, and make sure your partner is doing the same. Chapter 10. How else can self-discipline change my life? By now, you've seen the many benefits of developing a strong sense of self-discipline and know the value that self-discipline has in improving your success in business and relationships. However, it is important to acknowledge some of the various other benefits that self-discipline can have on your life. The positives of self-discipline are truly endless, and when you are fully disciplined, you will realize that your life as a whole is happier and more fulfilling. You will be better off and find yourself where you want to be in your life. Simply put, you can only achieve everything that you want in life if you are a disciplined person. Here are some of the biggest ways that self-discipline can change your life outside of business and relationships. How does self-discipline impact my mental health? The key goal of self-discipline is to learn how to have greater control over ourselves, our emotions, and our lives as a whole. Many people with crippling anxiety have found that developing self-discipline is one of the most effective ways to cope with their feelings. When you suffer from anxiety, you feel as though you lack control over your emotions and your life. However, when you are a disciplined person, you are able to realize that you have complete control over these feelings of anxiety. Your self-esteem improves when your self-discipline improves. Common practices of self-discipline include having a set schedule, especially for healthy sleep, getting regular exercise, having a healthy diet, and practicing mindfulness. These factors of self-discipline are incredibly useful for those coping with mental health problems such as depression and anxiety. If you feel like your emotions are out of control, then learning how to be disciplined can be life-changing. How does self-discipline impact my physical health? As we have discussed, truly self-disciplined people exercise regularly, get enough sleep, eat healthy foods while avoiding junk food. Those who have self-discipline tend to feel better in their body, more energized, and overall healthier. The most successful and disciplined people are those who have formed a routine that helps them to keep their physical health at its peak. For those struggling with staying physically healthy, learning self-discipline is the first step to turning your life around. How can self-discipline help me as a student? For any of you who are currently studying, having self-discipline is key to your overall success and future. Students who have strong self-discipline skills are able to limit distractions when they are doing work, avoid partying too much, focus on their work, and have a good schedule, have a steady routine, and make decisions in advance that will hugely impact their future. How can self-discipline help me be happier? True happiness can only be achieved when one develops self-discipline. Much of our happiness comes from our success in life. When we are self-disciplined, we are able to reach all of our goals and be the most successful version of ourselves that we can possibly be. A disciplined person knows how to make the right choices and how to take the right actions that will ultimately benefit them throughout their life. In contrast to this, people who are not self-disciplined and act solely on misplaced impulses will often find that they cannot get to where they want to be in their life. They do not achieve the success that they have dreamed of, and their life is overall unfulfilling. Self-discipline gives you the tools to avoid problematic situations that would impact your mental health in a negative way. Disciplined individuals avoid rash decisions that would harm the course of their life. Having self-discipline gives one the ability to make the right choices and to truly see the path to success, and therefore true happiness. Many people have a misperception of self-disciplined individuals. People assume that because they live by seemingly strict rules, self-disciplined people are unhappier and not as free. They are often portrayed as uptight and generally unsatisfied with their lives. This could not be further from the truth. Self-discipline does not mean that you are depriving yourself of anything. Research has shown that those with higher levels of self-discipline also have higher levels of overall life satisfaction. Self-discipline has been proven to improve mood. When you practice self-discipline, you are setting yourself up for a happy, fulfilling life. Self-disciplined people go through fewer negative emotions, which can be attributed to the fact that their sense of control over their lives allows for fewer instances when they have to choose between short-term pleasure and long-term pain. So, if you find that you are unhappy and unsatisfied in your life, then self-discipline might be exactly what you are missing. Don't believe the lies that people tell when they claim that discipline doesn't allow for fun or happiness, or that the highly self-disciplined people are the most miserable. You will find that when you really exercise self-discipline and put effort towards bettering your discipline, the results are huge. Self-discipline has the power to change everything in your life, not merely your business and relationship success. It is more important now than ever to start developing self-discipline. It is never too late. You can always turn your life around. Final words. Ultimately, to be successful in life, you have to achieve self-discipline. Your mind is full of dreams, but up until now, you didn't know how you could achieve them. Everything that you have learned here will help you to become the person that you have always dreamed of being. Whatever you want to achieve in life is within your reach. It is all possible, and it's time to stop convincing yourself that you can never get to where you want to be in life. You, and only you, have the power to control where your life goes from here. Don't spend time looking back to the past and wishing that you had been disciplined at a younger age. Focus on the present and the beautiful future that is to come. Self-discipline looks like success. It looks like the happiest person in the room, the person who knows what they want from life and exactly how to achieve it. It looks like the one who never gives up, the one who keeps fighting the obstacles that come their way, no matter how unrealistic their goals may seem. It looks like the individual who, when they are older, has very few regrets on how they live their life. It looks like that one person who you have always looked up to and dreamed of becoming, assuming that these dreams were unrealistic. It looks like all of your wishes come true, like the best version of yourself possible. It sounds like a dream, a fantasy world, but I can assure you that it is not. The next steps are up to you. You may have read this book and, despite how ideal everything sounds, still choose to not take the steps to transform your life. Only those of you who have read this book and truly taken inspiration from it and come out of it with the dedication to live out these methods will find that self-discipline is much easier than you assumed. This book cannot force you to become a disciplined person. However, it has hopefully shown you the value of having self-discipline and the appropriate steps that you can take to start changing your life for the better. As someone who has worked hard to be the disciplined person that I am today, I can confidently say that I have never been happier. I feel good about myself and about what I have been able to achieve in my life. And when I look forward to the future, I feel excitement instead of apprehension. The small things in life seem more beautiful to me than they ever were before, and I have learned to appreciate every day as it comes. No matter what challenges life may throw my way, I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that I will always overcome. It is time to take control of your own future. Start building self-discipline today and see why so many people are able to achieve success simply by learning how to discipline themselves. If you want to live your most fulfilling life, then it is vital that you start now. Self-discipline can change everything for you, regardless of age. It is not too late for you to join the ranks of the successful in all areas of your life. The time is now. Once you have closed this book, immediately begin working on your self-discipline. Do not come up with excuses as to why self-discipline isn't attainable. You are the only person holding yourself back. Once you realize this, your path to success seems much clearer. Take what you have learned and venture out into the world. I promise that it is much less scary than it may seem, and that in time, your only question will be, why didn't I take these steps sooner? If you enjoyed this audiobook and you've learned more about how to develop a monk mindset, an honest review is always appreciated and will help me reach new listeners just like you who struggle with self-discipline. Good luck on your journey. Harrison Walton. Introduction. Time management is the key to gaining success. In every industry, there are people who rise above all the rest. We all want to be these people. We idolize them. They seem to be successful in everything they're involved in, including family life, hobbies, and of course, work. We see their accomplishments and wonder why they are so good at what they do. You don't have to guess anymore. These successful people have one thing in common. They are excellent at managing their time. When you become a master at time management, your whole world opens. With the proper tools and tricks, you'll find that you have more time to focus on the things that matter most. In addition, you'll discover your core abilities and how to maximize them to increase your productivity and become more efficient in the work you do. You might be asking yourself, how is this going to impact what I'm already doing? Aren't I already doing everything I should to be the best I can be? While you've probably nailed down your dreams and you've got the perfect idea for the future life that you want, the short answer is no. You have the drive and the desire to amplify your abilities and become a highly successful person, just like you want, but something is holding you back. That is why you've grabbed this book for help, and you've come to the right place. Becoming a successful person in whatever you're trying to succeed is not rocket science. You need to have a dream, the desire, and the grit to do whatever it takes to achieve that dream. And you need to know exactly what steps it will take for you to get there. In this book, you'll learn every valuable technique available to optimize your time and do the best you can for yourself with the littlest effort. And it all starts with a very simple note. Writing down your dream makes it a reality. No more sitting back daydreaming about what you want to do next month, next year, or 5 years down the road. It's time to take action. You need to turn that dream into a tangible goal that you can see every day. Studies show that simply having your plan in front of you reminds you about what you're working toward can make you 40% more likely to achieve that goal. Imagine all that you could have already accomplished if you had been 40% more committed already. The very first thing that every highly successful person does is to materialize their goals. People who wish to be successful but never quite achieve their potential are usually too vague in what they want, and they have nothing reminding them of what it is they're after. By simply writing down your goal, you've already taken the first step in the right direction to a better tomorrow. Grab your paper and pen and get to it. Whatever your goal is, no matter how big or how small, the one thing that you are after at this very moment must be put down on paper. Before you do anything else, write down this goal. You can make it as complex as you'd like or leave it at a simple line. Just be sure to be honest with yourself and make it the one thing you're trying to achieve. Once that's done, we can move on to the more detailed stuff. To achieve the goal you've written, you must identify your strengths, weaknesses, the obstacles that may get in your way, and the people and things that can help to support you. First, identify the abilities that will help you achieve your goal. Then, list these strengths under your plan. Be realistic with yourself. If you say that you can speak French, you better be able to speak French. A handful of common words will not be enough if your goal is to move to France permanently. Second, list your weaknesses. You will need to either work on or eliminate and replace these things with something else that you know will help you. Keeping with the French example, if your goal is to move to France, you cannot take your weakness of not knowing the language and brush it aside. You need to be straight with yourself and understand upfront that you'll need to learn that language. If you're currently learning how to speak German, then it's time to stop and focus on French. Third, you need to identify the obstacles that stand in your way. This could be something as simple as you don't have a passport. This, for example, is indeed an obstacle that you must overcome. And lastly, list out the people and things that will either support you or make it possible for you to achieve your goal. Again, in moving to France, your cousin who has an apartment there is a supporter. Your friends who encouraged you to go, but may also distract you from doing the things it'll take for you to get there, may not be the supporters you need. The whole point of this exercise is to identify precisely what it is you're after and what it will take for you to get there. When you're finished listing all of these items, you'll discover that you have a very clear and direct goal in mind. You'll know exactly where you want to go and exactly what it's going to take to get there. With this in front of you, you can see just how detrimental a vague dream truly is and how crucial time management will become to your overall plan. In the next chapter, we'll discuss what time management is and why it helps. We'll review the main reasons for getting yourself organized, and then we'll discuss what you can do right now to start your journey. Don't waste any more time. Let's talk about purpose. Chapter 1: The Purpose of Time Management and Why It Works. Time management is the art of properly planning, executing, and implementing your abilities in the most efficient way. We discussed writing down your dream to make it a concrete goal in the introduction. However, it's not enough to just have this goal in front of you. Now you have to make it happen. Not only does your goal have a purpose in your life, but so does time management. You can't effectively chase after your dreams without proper planning in the first place. To make your plan, you must first understand what time management is and is not. Managing your time to achieve your goals. Every day, we all manage our time to get things done. This means we get up at a certain time, get ready, and leave the house and do our jobs. We make room for lunches and appointments, and this is the schedule we are all familiar with. However, when it comes to achieving something you know will take extra work, you must expect that it will take extra planning and extra time too. To maximize your work and sharpen your skills, you have to clear away the clutter and put all your focus on the goal at hand. Therefore, your number one priority is properly managing your time to fit in the activities to help you achieve that goal. With the techniques in this book, you'll find that you can get the most out of your day, significantly achieving more than you're used to. In addition, you'll feel fulfilled and have a greater sense of purpose in yourself as you go along this journey. The schedule you've built for yourself will need tweaking and adjustments so that you can fit in the activities that must be done to achieve your goals as you learn to manage your time more efficiently. Our exercise in working towards your goal is perfect in helping you understand how valuable proper time management is. How time management helps people succeed. In our highly distractible world, it's easy to lose track of hours at a time while we fall victim to the delights of modern technology. Things like social media are designed to help us connect, but we get lost in a sea of words and images easily, and in it, we lose ourselves. The focus we need to put into bettering ourselves and making the most out of our days is simply gone with one quick decision. Time management helps people become successful because it teaches them that there must be a time for everything. There is a time to check in with old friends and family, and there's a time to shift your attention to your goals. Because we have a clear goal in mind, we can now implement time management to learn how to properly handle our time from here out and achieve that elusive dream that we've been seeking all along. Unfortunately, poor time management doesn't just impact our ability to become successful and see our goals through to fruition. It also becomes detrimental to our mental and physical health. When we spend too much time lost in our devices, we not only become sedentary, but we also start to focus on what's on the surface instead of what's deep within. In this example, we get too caught up in our image and we forget that we must put in the work to build a positive persona. This not only applies to the fact that most people spend a lot of time on their devices every day, but it also applies to other unhealthy habits that are eating up our time. For example, maybe you have a block of time in your day that you don't plan for. Week after week, this block of time becomes a gray area when you're less productive and sometimes doing nothing at all. Don't get me wrong, everybody needs time to themselves and time to detox after a long day. Still, if you continuously waste enormous amounts of your time on unimportant things to your overall goals, you are actually hurting yourself in the long run. No matter how diligent we may be, there are always factors that we cannot account for. So, not only do you need to plan, even for the things that you can plan for, but you must allow yourself to make mistakes and be okay with them. This is how we learn and grow, and it's how you can continue to buffer your plan and your time management to get the most out of every day and all the days to come. The real benefits of maximizing your time. We all know how it feels to go through a day believing that you haven't accomplished anything. These days drag out and seem endless, and the same work you've been doing becomes mindless and often annoying. However, maximizing your time and becoming more efficient is more than just being successful with your social status or money. No matter what drives you, you should also know that there are real benefits to maximizing your time. Your health is dependent on how you see yourself. It's easy to start doubting ourselves when we feel that we haven't accomplished very much. This doubt turns into regret or jealousy, and it's all too easy to fall into a depression. These mental afflictions do nothing at helping you become successful, and in fact, they'll push you further away from your ultimate goal. This doesn't just apply to mental health, but it also applies to physical health. When we start to second guess ourselves in our abilities due to lack of progress or feeling stagnant, it isn't just our mental state that wants to give up. We lose the drive to go out and tackle the world. We don't care if we eat healthily. We just want something that makes us feel good at the moment. This means you may drink more, get less exercise, and generally become sedentary. When you implement the techniques for proper time management, your overall health will improve just as a byproduct. You'll have more time to interact with the people that you care about, and you'll have more time to get out and get fresh air and exercise. Your achievements in all aspects of your life, including work, personal hobbies, and close relationships, will thrive. You'll want to look your best and feel your best as your success grows. This means not only staying physically healthy, but your mental health will also improve. Falling behind when we least expect. Even the most successful people have their setbacks. They have moments when they feel like they're falling behind, and it takes extra effort to get themselves back on track. However, the difference between highly successful people who understand time management and those who do not is that they will prioritize and plan until they rise back higher than they were before. The struggles that you may currently be dealing with or will deal with because of managing your time poorly include feeling as though you've lost control, poor work quality, and eventually suffering a hit to your reputation. When you waste your time on things that are not helping you become the best version of yourself, you're only dragging yourself down. In addition, your poor work quality will lead to poor efficiency, and not long after, you may even become angry with yourself. Don't let these things happen to you. Get rid of the clutter and plan to move towards that dream that you want so badly. It's time to learn how to optimize your time and find your success. Let's head into Chapter 2 as we discuss 8 techniques that you can do right now to improve your time management and get you directly on the path to achieving all that you've ever wanted. Chapter 2. How productive are you? This is where it all begins. This is the question that you have to ask yourself in order to know what you're capable of and where you will be in the future. What exactly are you doing right now that is either helping you or hurting you as you manage your time? Are you being efficient? Are you making the most of your productivity time? To truly understand ourselves, we must take an outside look at what we feel we are capable of versus what we're actually doing. The following 4 questions will help you gain a perspective on your workflow and your overall skills when it comes to managing your time. Do you focus on one task at a time? This question may seem strange, but in the grand scope of getting things accomplished, focusing on one task at a time is key toward reaching completion. There's a myth about multitasking, where we believe that doing multiple things simultaneously will, in turn, save us time. This is indeed a myth, because sifting through multiple activities at the same time draws our attention away from the primary task at hand. This means that while you believe that you are getting more done in less time, you're actually adding time to your schedule. If you're the type of person who schedules time blocks for certain activities, which highly successful people do once they master their time, you will find that your schedule is not meeting your needs. There are, of course, ways to tackle several tasks in one day or to tackle them within the same time block, but that's something called productive procrastination, and we'll cover that in the surprise life hacks to boost your productivity chapter later on. To raise your focus, try the following. Eliminate distractions. Remove additional devices and gadgets from your workspace that draw your attention away from the task at hand. If you have to work off of your phone, silence notifications for apps that aren't necessary, such as social media. Break larger tasks into smaller ones. If the activity you're pursuing is overwhelming, chances are you'll have a hard time focusing on getting the entire thing done. This daunting pressure not only makes you want to procrastinate, but it might just burn you out as well. To stay productive and keep your focus, take that large task and break it down into quarters that you know you can accomplish in a reasonable amount of time. In between tasks or between parts of a bigger task, take routine breaks. This technique, called the Pomodoro technique, is when you work for a specific amount of time and then break for a smaller amount of time. For example, set a timer and work for 40 minutes. When the timer goes off, set a new one for 10 minutes, and that is your break. As soon as it rings, you get back to work. Do you ask for help or delegate when possible? While we like to believe that we can tackle anything that comes our way, giving us plenty of confidence to do what needs to be done, we can't possibly do everything ourselves. Knowing your strengths and weaknesses allows you to ask for help when you know you can't get something done. Delegating, which is when you assign someone else work that you're responsible for, is perfect for times when you're at the office or even at home for family chores. When you recognize what you're good at, you can help other people become successful. Your skills can be put to good use in assisting others in achieving their goals, just like you would hope your friends and family will do the same for you. When we rely on each other to lift us up, especially when we've done the same for them, we grow stronger bonds and our social relationships excel. This is a hallmark characteristic of highly successful people. To better your ability at delegating, try the following. Identify your weakest skill. This has to be something you need to do to reach your success. For example, maybe you're not the best communicator, in which case you would need to delegate this task to someone better at communicating. Perhaps you're not very tall, so you'll need to delegate activities that require height to someone more suited in your work setting. Identify your strongest skill. This will again be necessary for helping you achieve your success. This will also be something you can use to help others when they need to delegate their own tasks. As we already discussed, this will help you build a solid social network of people who want to help each other succeed. Then, when it's time for you to delegate something, these people will be willing to help you just as you've helped them. What are your skills and passions? Playing into our previous discussion on skills, do you know your top skills and key passions? To become productive and maximize our output, we must first know ourselves. We can't very well conquer our to-do lists or achieve our goals if we don't understand what we're capable of or know our passions. So, first, your skills are your essential tools in life. These skills can become dull over time if we do not keep them sharp, and we can also add new ones and take some away. The toolbox of life skills that we accumulate over years of experience and education is vital to our success. You must be honest with yourself about what your skills genuinely are and what they aren't. If you need to work on some of them, then do so. Make it part of your plan to sharpen the tools you will need to achieve the success you're after. And once you've mastered those skills, look at adding new or relevant ones. Second, your passions give you the drive and desire to reach those goals. Your passion may have led you to the career you're in, or it may have led you to work at a specific hobby. No matter the reason, your passions add vision to your dream. This creative part of your life can enable you to feel more fulfilled, not just in your work and hobbies, but also in your relationships. You may only have one passion that fuels you every day, or you may have several that inspire you in all areas of your life. Knowing yourself means knowing what you love, and this love is what motivates you to chase those dreams. To better understand your skills and passions, try the following. Make a quick list of your favorite physical activities. If you aren't a very active person, you most likely still have something that you enjoy doing physically. These can be as simple as going outside and watering plants, or they can include playing a game of basketball. In these physical activities, you're identifying how you enjoy using your motor skills as you and your teammates work toward a common goal. Make a list of your favorite general hobbies. Sometimes the physical and mental may overlap, as when playing board games. These activities are often enjoyed in a social setting, and they'll give you an insight into how you like to build relationships, as well as the pursuits you're willing to undertake as a team. Make a quick list of your favorite mental activities. For example, some people enjoy reading, whether fiction or nonfiction, and some enjoy art. These mental pursuits are primarily done alone, and they're used to enhance our creativity and higher thinking. These items will give you an idea of what you do to unwind after long periods around other people. How organized is your space? What would we do without organization? If you understand yourself and you know what you're good at and what you love, and you're able to focus on your tasks and ask for help when needed, you still might fall behind schedule if you can't stay organized. Organization applies to two separate areas when we're speaking of time management. First, we must organize our physical space. This would include your office, your car, and your home. To complete your tasks on time, you'll need to keep things well organized and in the places you would expect them to be to save time when you're going to complete something. Second, organization applies to the abstract schedules and plans that we put in place. Creating and prioritizing your to-do lists and scheduling time blocks to complete these activities are parts of organization's abstract idea. To improve upon your organization, try the following. Set aside one day a month to clean out your desk, car, or home. During this time, you will clear away the clutter and put everything in a place where it is easily found when needed. You can even go as far as to color code certain drawers or files, and you can alphabetize or create a similar system of cataloging items that you have multiples. At the beginning of each week, review your work schedule and personal appointments and re-examine your plan to see that you are scheduling your time accordingly. This is a good time to review your to-do list as well, making adjustments for things that have changed in priority or now require more or less time. Now that you have identified your strengths and weaknesses and know how to use your skills while staying on top of your organization, you can move forward and implement the techniques that will help you manage your time today. If at any point you feel like you're falling behind, come back and review this section and identify what it is that you might be missing. In the meantime, let's move on to 4 essential tricks that will guide you toward optimizing your time and becoming more efficient than you were yesterday. It's time to learn exactly how to optimize your time and find the successes you want. Chapter 3: 4 Techniques to Better Manage Your Time Today. The following techniques will help you get a grasp on your schedule as you work toward finishing your day feeling accomplished. Always be intentional. We've already taken the first step in becoming more intentional with our time. By writing down your goals, you're keeping your focus on the things that matter most. But being intentional is not only about materializing what you're after, it's also about putting intent behind every action you take. Everything worth anything must have a purpose. Remember how we discussed wasting time and how it makes you stagnant and gives you a sense of lack of accomplishment. Everything we do throughout our day, from the moment we wake up to the moment we lay down, must be driven with intent if we expect to capitalize on our time. Aimlessly working toward things without observable deadlines or clear intentions will leave us unfulfilled as we move from one project to the next without completing anything. To be intentional, you must be honest with yourself about your current goals and tasks. Set realistic expectations, but also include your long-term goals so that you can push yourself further and higher than the day before. Write down what you expect of yourself throughout this goal or any other task that you may have. Be clear and concise. Successful people know exactly what they want from themselves and the world around them. Accept that you will need to focus on these tasks as you fine-tune your schedule. You must be wholly dedicated to what it is you intend to do. That way, you'll have the drive and desire to push yourself to make better choices and perfect your otherwise busy schedule. Prioritize your actions. If we are going to make every action count as we work toward optimizing each minute of our day, we have to prioritize what matters most. But unfortunately, even the most perfectly drawn-up plan will have its flaws. Everything worth anything requires priority. You may run into unforeseen issues, and your day could quickly become a mess of actions without purpose. Instead of tackling the things on your to-do list in a random order, you must prioritize everything so that you know you will accomplish the most critical task of your day, regardless of how the rest of your plan goes. To prioritize, you must make a short list of the tasks you plan to accomplish daily. These everyday tasks must be done to work towards a larger, more long-term goal. Number your tasks so that the one you cannot go a day without completing is number 1. This might also be something that is unavoidable, such as turning in certain reports at work. At the end of your list, your last item will be the one thing that has the least repercussions if you happen to miss it. It will not affect your long-term goal as much as your top priority task, and it is something that you can avoid if need be. Focus on your priorities. Now that you know what has a purpose and what takes priority, you can shift your attention to those items above all else. When it's time to start the new task, remove all distractions that will prevent you from maximizing your time and finishing this activity as you've planned. Everything worth anything requires focus. Social media, mobile devices, even certain people can hold us back from keeping focused and accomplishing our tasks. There is a time for socializing, and there's a time for work. If you intend on mastering time management and excelling in your goals, you must focus on your priorities without interruption. To focus on your priorities, you must remove all the clutter from your workplace. This includes little trinkets that cause a visual distraction and small objects that you play with when bored. Turn off your desktop notifications if you're working on your computer. These constant pop-ups only pull your attention from your task and prevent you from moving forward. Silence your phone or remove it from your workspace entirely. This applies to all activities, not just those you do sitting at your desk. We always have our phones on us, and they're always pulling our attention from what's happening in front of us. If you plan to be present and optimize your time, the phone needs to go. Be aware of your limitations. As much as we want to tackle all of our problems in one day and be done with them, we must understand that we simply cannot push ourselves too hard. To stay at the top of your game, as you continue to seek higher rewards, you have to be self-aware of what you can and cannot do. Anything worth anything requires awareness. In the world of success, it's easy to get burned out. As you focus on your priorities, carefully track the time you're spending on certain activities to see that you are making the most of your day and that you aren't overwhelming yourself. When we get exhausted from a task, even one that we are passionate about, it makes us want to step away. By tracking your time and keeping a close eye on your productivity, you'll be able to set consistent goals for yourself as you sharpen your skills at time management. To become self-aware, list the strengths that will directly attribute to your prioritized tasks. This is everything that will help you get your to-do list done most efficiently. Rank your strengths in order from most to least. Then identify which one will help you the most and which one will be the least beneficial. Decide which of your weakest strengths you will either move past or improve. If there is a strength that will vastly improve your time management at the bottom of your list, then instead of letting yourself fall behind in this ability, you can push yourself to get better. With these techniques combined, the main goal is to create a clear summary of what you expect to do. Now that you've begun to sharpen your plan, as you build a manageable schedule for complete time efficiency, let's continue to the next chapter, where we'll discuss the techniques that will keep you moving forward, not just for today and tomorrow, but for next month and the next month after that. It's time to build a long-term plan that will maximize your efforts as you minimize your time. Chapter 4. Where do you see yourself in the future? In the previous 2 chapters, we discussed the purpose behind managing your time and exactly what you can do today to start down a more productive path. This is the first step for a better tomorrow. But what about a month from now? How about a year? People who manage their time efficiently account for only 18% of the workforce. These people have a plan in place, and they follow through, and they are the ones who become successful. Everyone has the tools to succeed in their passions, but very few people implement these tools. You've picked up this book because you know you have it in you to succeed, and you're willing to do what it takes to prioritize your tasks and optimize your time. You need guidance and an actionable plan to become more efficient in your skills and stop wasting time. My aim is to help you rise above the other 82% in your workforce. Sharpen your skills to stand out amongst competitors. Prioritize your tasks and reduce time spent working. Create time blocks for yourself, your family, and your hobbies. Highly successful people know that their hard work only takes them so far. Better yet, they've learned to work smarter, not harder. But unfortunately, these people are in the minority because they take the time to plan, prioritize, implement strategies, and evaluate their progress. The same success is yours to have. All you need is one simple trick. Enter the Eisenhower Matrix. Who can define for us with accuracy the difference between the long and short term? Especially whenever our affairs seem to be in crisis, we are almost compelled to give our first attention to the urgent present rather than to the important future. Dwight D. Eisenhower, in his address to the Century Association in 1961. Not only was Dwight Eisenhower the 34th President of the United States and a five-star general during World War II, but he also amassed a list of accomplishments that continue to astound even the most successful people. Over his talented life, his work in creating NASA and the United States highway system has led him to be memorialized as the man with a plan. Taking inspiration from Eisenhower, author Stephen Covey wrote his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and coined the term the Eisenhower Matrix. This process for identifying what is urgent and important and taking the steps necessary to handle these types of tasks will vastly improve your efficacy in all your responsibilities. The Eisenhower Matrix is a must for people who feel like they work endlessly with little results, have trouble telling others no, lack of attention, or energy needed to achieve long-term goals, want more passion in their pursuits, but continue to take on needless tasks. Don't delay your future successes. Take control of your passions and use this formula to step out of the humdrum of your stagnant life and into the sunlight. So few see the opportunities before them and miss out on a chance at greatness. Be the exception. Do, defer, delegate, delete. The Eisenhower Matrix is comprised of 4 simple steps. Each one brings you closer to identifying what is important and urgent. First, if we refer to Eisenhower himself, we must focus on if we wish our future to be better than today. Do. Just do it. These are the unavoidable, the most important and urgent tasks combined. These things end up at the top of your list because they have clear set deadlines that cannot be put off. You'll find appointments, project deadlines, and emergencies in this category. Defer. Schedule it for later. These are the unavoidable tasks that enhance our lives, yet are not urgent in the pressing moment. Here, you'll find exercising, planning, and social interactions. These things do not have deadlines that you must adhere to, but they are vitally important to your overall health, whether it be physical or mental. Delegate. Hand it off. These tasks are necessary to our daily lives and are thus urgent for our survival. They are, however, not important enough for us to have to do ourselves. In other words, these tasks don't require our skill set in order to be completed. You can add grocery shopping and scheduling to this list. Delete. Get rid of it. At the bottom of our list of things we believe we must do are things that end up being detrimental to our overall plan. These things are neither urgent nor essential. Spending time on social media, snacking, and watching television, and general activities that decrease our productivity are all things we need to minimize to our best ability. Make this your plan. While everyone has their own ideas of what is most urgent and what is most important, for your plan to work, you have to take action to determine what it is that goes at the top of your list. Successful people who manage their time properly and efficiently tackle the most important and urgent matters head on. They don't wait for things to accumulate through procrastination. Do this for yourself. Write out an Eisenhower matrix of the tasks you must complete and get to work on them right away. Your productivity will soar as you use your skills to best help you and enlist the help from others when you need to delegate. In the process of all this, you will also remove your distractions and increase your workflow exponentially. Only 20% of people feel that they are in control over their work situations on a regular basis. With the help of the Eisenhower matrix, 50% of people utilizing this time management technique feel that they have constant control over their workflow. Another 50% feel that they are in control for the majority of their work week. On top of this vital technique are others that will set you running down the successful path like there's no tomorrow. The tips and techniques in the following chapters are just icing on the cake as you learn to create an action plan and achieve every goal you've dreamed of. Let's look at the next steps in your time management toolbox that will propel you effortlessly into success. Chapter 5. Managing your time for the future you desire. We've discussed several key techniques that will enable you to plan your time accordingly and make the most of your day. But what about the future? What about months down the road, or even years? Those long-term goals can sometimes elude even the most focused individuals. You don't want to spend all your time on short-term goals either. Chances are you're looking to increase your abilities and skills so that you can save yourself time for things that are more important to you. This will also allow you to push yourself towards something big. Maximize your time and excel in your interests for the long term by utilizing these 5 tricks. Together, they create a roadmap for your future successes. Whether you have a specific goal in mind or if you're simply trying to be more efficient in your work, these techniques will aid you as you hone your skills. Plan like there's no tomorrow. If you aim at nothing, you'll hit nothing. If you don't have a plan that motivates you towards your end goal, then you have no way to tell where you're going or how you'll get there. Of course, not every plan needs to be detailed down to the last minute, but you do have to have an idea along with the steps it'll take to get you where you want to be. Your plan should include a clear, well-defined goal. This could be anything from finishing the remodel you started on your bathroom to getting the promotion you've wanted for months. The steps it will take to achieve this goal. Preferably, you should be realistic and include every step that you know you must overcome. With some goals, you might find that you'll only need to accomplish a handful of steps, whereas others will take longer and have more steps involved. The skills required to complete the steps. Again, be honest with yourself about what you can and cannot do. List out the skills you'll need, even if they are ones you don't have. This is when you'll know precisely what you'll need to improve upon, and even some that you'll need to learn brand new. Create small goals and big goals. How can you judge your progress if you don't know where you're going? The plan you've started is all aimed at one particular goal. If this goal is a simple goal that you can achieve in a week, then add a larger goal that will motivate you all the way through to the end of the month. Your goals should be clearly defined so you can track your progress, nothing vague or unachievable. You must be realistic. Small for the week, even smaller for the day. Again, be realistic and know your limitations. Only do what you are comfortable doing. Large for the month, even larger for the year. Shoot for the stars. The further you set your sights, the more you can accomplish. Of course, be mindful about breaking these big goals into small ones when need be, such as taking the steps to reach that promotion you so eagerly want. Structure everything. The pillars to success carry the weight of both failures and achievements. When we structure our plans accordingly to the time management principles outlined in this book, we find that we get the most out of our days. Of course, learning what works best for your plan and schedule is a process of trial and error, but learning from your mistakes makes you a better planner. So, take your failures and missteps and move forward with a better, more elaborately structured plan. Structuring for your success should include appropriately timed slots for work and play. Based on your priority list, the most important task that must be done needs to come first. That also means that you need to make time for the hobbies you enjoy because they give you quality of life. Break time between tasks to keep you motivated. Highly successful people know that they can't constantly work without breaks. Without setting aside time to step away from the projects at hand, you could easily reduce your productivity from burnout. Wiggle room for unavoidable delays or setbacks. Even in the best plans, people still find delays easily derail their success. By allowing yourself a small amount of unplanned time every day, you'll provide some wiggle room in case you run into something unavoidable. Downtime to relax and detox from the day. This time is separate from the breaks in between your activities. Your relaxation time should be longer than 10 minutes, and it should include things like personal hygiene, light exercise, and feel-good activities that allow you to remove the stress from your day. Evaluate progress. Knowing your strengths and weaknesses is the key to excelling. As you come along in your plan, you'll notice areas for improvement. Wanting to improve is a key characteristic of a highly successful person. Of course, you should never want to push yourself beyond your limits, but in the same respect, you should want to achieve greater things than you did the day before. Evaluate your progress by review your schedule at the end of each week to see where you went over on time. In these cases, you'll want to review the skills you need to complete those tasks and either work on enhancing your skills or plan to delegate. Re-examine your goals after each step to see that you are on track. Are your small goals within reach? Have you given yourself enough time to complete the larger goal for the month? Review your to-do lists to ensure your top priorities are still your primary focus. As we get closer to our goals, our priorities might shift. This is especially true if you've mastered a skill necessary for the overall achievement of the goal. And now you no longer need to prioritize working on that skill. Set mindful deadlines. There's a time for work and there's a time for you. As I said before, you never want to push yourself further than what you know you can handle. In addition to taking small breaks between your tasks, you need to schedule time for yourself, either at the beginning or the end of your day. This personal time will help you feel confident and control the tasks you must complete. Having mindful deadlines means that you won't forget to prioritize yourself the same way you're prioritizing your work. Create mindful deadlines by make a list of the necessary daily activities important to you. This may include anything from showering to a routine haircut. Make a list of healthful activities that will enable you to succeed. These activities include everything from mindful meal planning to adequate exercise. After acknowledging these two necessary groups of activities, you can add them to your daily schedule. Once that time slot is taken, you'll be free to create the rest of your plan based on the workflow that you expect to accomplish. These 5 core principles will guide you out of your stagnant, unplanned atmosphere and into an active and well-thought lifestyle. Not only will you create appropriate time slots for the activities that must be done, but you will also make time for the things you want to do. These side passions will fuel your drive as you work toward achieving that once elusive goal. No more waiting for your life to change. Take hold of your time and change your life yourself. In the next chapter, we'll discuss the top 10 traits of highly successful people. These traits are directly linked to managing your time efficiently to maximize your productivity. Even as you enlist the strategies outlined so far, you can bolster your abilities and drive home that success by adopting these inspiring and invaluable traits. Chapter 6: 10 Traits of Highly Successful People Who Manage Their Time Efficiently. People who become masters at managing their time have specific traits that keep them on their path to success. These traits are things that anyone with enough drive can learn and master, and they can implement each one in a different way for their own lifestyle. Knowing the value of each trait and how it can influence your time management is exactly what will get you moving towards your own successes with ease. Passion. The strong desire for something or someone. When it comes to managing your time in a more efficient way, without passion, you lack the feelings that you need to connect with your goal. This strong emotion we call passion pushes us when we want to give up. It gives us reason to get up in the morning and get back in the fight. Passion will make you not only want to hit those deadlines, but complete them earlier. The things on your to-do list with the highest priority should be things you are absolutely passionate about. Otherwise, you could find yourself wanting to procrastinate, which will only cause you to fall behind. Self-control. The ability to control your actions, emotions, and thoughts. Self-control isn't just about preventing yourself from doing things that could cost you time. It is also about avoiding the desire to be impulsive and inconsistent. Self-control will help you stay on task and complete your list of priorities without falling into temptations and wasting time. Practicing proper self-control will give you more self-confidence, knowing that you've completed things from start to finish and that you now have time for more fun things that you love. Integrity. To be honest with strong moral principles. Integrity is essential in finding lasting success. While it's true that we've all had bad bosses that seem to walk over other people to get where they are, those types of people never last. They move from job to job because they lack integrity, and in turn, they gain little to no respect from their peers or subordinates. To become a successful person who will continue to find success in every aspect of life, you must have integrity. This means you will know what the right thing to do is and how to do it effectively. Sometimes these decisions are difficult, but if you take them one step at a time and pay attention to what is best for everyone, then you're on the right path to having high integrity. Patience. The ability to take troubles and distress in stride. Having patience means that you can handle your delays without letting your emotions get the best of you. This is why successful people add time into their busy schedules to account for unavoidable setbacks. These highly successful people understand that to live their most efficient life, they can't let delays get the best of them. So they keep their chin up, accept the problem at hand, and begin calmly working toward a solution. Sociability, the act of seeking out social interaction. Having sociability as a quality works on two different levels for success. Most successful people will have a solid network of others around them who have helped them get to where they are. With integrity, these people are true companions and not just others that the successful person has used to their advantage. In addition to this solid network, sociability adds a healthy social aspect to a person's lifestyle. Instead of wasting time browsing through social media when you should be working on a task, spend your time interacting with people after completing your priorities. These interactions have numerous health benefits, such as increased dopamine levels, leading you to feel more fulfilled in life. Willpower, the ability to focus on long-term goals while resisting short-term temptations. Willpower is a lot like self-control, except that it focuses more on reaching a larger, long-term goal in the future. Willpower keeps you pushing toward completing night classes, for example, so that you can earn your promotion by next year. Willpower also teaches patience, as it takes a lot of dedication over an extended period of time to achieve these larger goals. Maintaining a solid schedule and plan will only help reinforce willpower as you continue to finish your tasks on time and meet that epic goal. Optimism, having the confidence to believe that the future will turn out the way you've planned. Optimism is crucial in the path to success. Without seeing yourself in a better future, or at least the belief that there is a better future, you have nothing pushing you to continue your plan. Optimism often goes hand in hand with passion, as it is the passions that have created the future that you now believe in. Successful people find the promise of a better tomorrow to be just enough to keep them on task and moving toward their deadlines. This optimism is great for mentality, providing positive reinforcement in every act you do. Risk-taking, the act of doing something daring. All successful people have taken risks in their lives. Maybe it's with finances or moving to a new place. Regardless of the specific act, these people understand that they have to take big leaps to reach their goals. Taking risks involves optimism just as much as willpower, because without being able to sustain the focus needed for these long-term goals, successes will not be met. However, risk takers do not lack patience, as they calculate every move carefully before taking action. These people utilize their plans to become highly efficient in their activities and resist impulses. Creativity, the ability to craft original ideas. Creativity is essential when it comes to success. People who rise above others and achieve the things that some only dream of have found new and effective ways to finish the mundane. These people see a problem in the current workings of the world, but they also see a solution. Thanks to their optimism and passions, creative people work with the utmost dedication toward a better tomorrow. Creativity, of course, requires careful planning and design to be executed most effectively. Even though creative people are often seen as whimsical and carefree, they succeed in changing things for the better by structuring their schedules to get the most out of their activities. Emotional awareness, the ability to understand the emotions of not only yourself, but others around you. Being emotionally aware allows successful people to understand how others feel about their decisions and actions. This can be huge for a workspace, as the business's success will heavily rely on the satisfaction of the workers. Emotional awareness works alongside integrity in many cases, as it takes strong moral codes and empathy to ensure that people feel welcomed and valued. With the help of proper time management, people in these situations can create time blocks to healthfully socialize with their colleagues and discuss the overall morale of the workspace. When people around you feel respected and important to your overall success, they become invested and thus become a part of that success. These 10 qualities of highly successful people intermingle with one another to create a backbone for your overall plan. Sharpening these skills is essential in rising above and grasping that dream that you've wanted for so long. As you tighten your schedule and become more efficient in your day-to-day work, Utilize these qualities until they become second nature. Not only will you find success in your career, but you will also feel successful on an emotional and mental level. With attributes like optimism and integrity, you'll easily feel as though you're doing the best you can and that you have every reason to look forward to the brighter future you've planned. As we head into the next chapter, we'll go over those physical and emotional benefits that you receive from proper time management. No matter the plan you have in place or the dream that you're trying to realize, these benefits are real and tangible rewards for your everyday pursuits in productivity. By enlisting the techniques outlined in this book, alongside learning to adapt the qualities of highly successful people, you'll be feeling these benefits by the end of day one. So don't hesitate any longer. Let's make today the best day of your life. Chapter 7: Physical and Emotional Benefits of Proper Time Management. There truly is nothing like a reward for your hard work. Everything that is involved in managing your time requires a measure of work. From the initial lists you create that help you identify your strengths and weaknesses, to the schedule you must put in place as you work through your day and conquer your priorities, managing your time requires effort. But all of this effort is well worth it in the end. You'll find as early as day one that certain aspects of your life simply open as you feel more confident and satisfied in the things you've accomplished. We've discussed in the previous chapters how managing your time can provide you with numerous benefits in both your work and your personal life. It's time to review those amazing benefits to understand just how important it is to plan for your day and work toward healthier and more successful goals. Relief from the stresses that come from success. It's no secret that people get frustrated and stressed out easily when their days don't go according to plan. This is even more true when we don't plan at all. Some people have the misconception that planning your day is as simple as having an idea to go grocery shopping and then pick up the house afterward. This is not a concrete plan that will help you achieve the tasks that you have for the day. If you genuinely want to reduce your stress by having a concrete plan in place, then you must take the time to sit down and write out your schedule. You must stick to it. Managing your time appropriately and being efficient in your tasks will give you the wiggle room needed to handle unavoidable delays and have a moment to process troubles when they arise. In addition to making this extra time for unexpected problems, you will also schedule yourself time for personal interests, daily relaxation, and necessary hygiene and exercise. The keys to reducing stress due to time management techniques are scheduling time specifically for yourself. Allow yourself time to engage in the things that give you pleasure, because these are the things that will allow you to relax and recover from a day full of work. Allowing time for healthful activities. Create time blocks to ensure that you get proper rest and exercise, because these two are directly linked to how our bodies handle stress. Lack of sleep can cause irritability and a general sense of anxiety and depression. Likewise, proper nutrition is vital in having the right amount of energy to sustain your pursuits. Plan your day with mindful deadlines that you know you can keep while still pushing yourself to excel. There's a fine line here, but you always want to do better than you did the day before. Understand your limits and give yourself enough time to accomplish the goals you've set for yourself. But again, do not waste time on activities that do not benefit your future goals. Healthier and happier lifestyle. Very similar to reducing stress, obtaining a healthier and happier lifestyle is achievable today by enlisting time management techniques. Creating the time you need to achieve your goals and find happiness in the little things is key to being healthier both mentally and physically. As you continue to sharpen your skills and become more efficient in the work you do, you'll find even more time for your passions and the things that bring you great happiness. You'll start to see that certain hobbies of yours do not benefit you at all, but that you can replace them with things that make you more active and sociable, and thus give you more self-confidence to achieve even bigger goals than you're imagining right now. The keys to a healthier and happier lifestyle, thanks to the principles of time management, are: take the time to list the activities you enjoy most, and then add those to your schedule. This will give you something to look forward to as you complete your daily tasks. In addition, you can use these moments as rewards for your hard work in finishing your list of priorities. This simple act, in turn, will give you a sense of pride as you know you've earned your downtime. Not only will you be happier, but you will also be feeling a greater sense of accomplishment. This will, by nature, make you more eager to focus on a higher quality lifestyle. Create time blocks in your weekly schedule to do the things that you not only enjoy, but that must be done. These include networking with people at social events and maintaining personal hygiene and appearance standards. Something as minute as dressing nice and keeping current with your hairstyle can do a wonder for your self confidence. Pay attention to your feelings and emotions as you work through your daily to do list. Truly understanding ourselves means that we know our limitations and what we do and do not care to be involved with. For example, if we continually work at a job that brings us sadness, then we'll have no motivation to complete our tasks for the day. Knowing what you care about and how it influences you will enable you to strive for the goals that have the biggest impact on your life. Doing this will bring you greater integrity, and you'll find that your emotional intelligence is connected on a deeper level to those around you. Remaining mindful of how you're handling your mental workload. In today's world, mental health plays a huge part in success. Being able to prioritize our tasks and ensure that certain things get done, as they will reduce your stress levels and face less anxiety from the pressures and demands of life. Anxiety is directly linked to depression because when we are fearful that we are not achieving our successes as we feel we should, we begin to doubt ourselves. Utilizing your schedule as you capitalize on your strengths will help you avoid burnout and procrastination, often the root of career anxiety. New and engaging opportunities. Creating a solid schedule full of your passions, interests, and small goals that help you get to the future you want will only open new doors as you continue down this path. From day one, the skills that you enlist to help you manage your time and make the most out of your day will grant you confidence, a new sense of satisfaction in the life you're seeking. Furthermore, with your plan in place, as you tackle your priorities, you'll start to realize that opportunities are all around you if you're just willing to take hold of your life and go for them. The keys to discovering new and engaging opportunities because of time management are consistently adhering to your schedule to meet deadlines. With a positive workflow and optimistic outlook, you're sure to find new job opportunities and promotions much easier than you would before enlisting time management techniques. Embracing the passions that not only give you pleasure, but also help you achieve your end goal. Pushing yourself to greater heights as you mindfully make time for yourself could lead you into new industries or hobbies that you never thought possible. Having a general sense of positivity as your confidence grows. Not only will optimism and integrity help you rise above the rest, but specifically making time for yourself so that you can be sociable in an effective way will help you achieve even the biggest of goals. As we discussed before, sometimes you have to delegate the things on your to-do list that you know you don't have the skills to complete the task. By creating a strong network of reliable colleagues, you know you have someone to lean on to overcome obstacles. Time for what is most important. Making time for yourself as part of your daily plan is crucial to ensure a happier and more productive lifestyle. Because of the techniques outlined in this book, you will be able to increase your productivity while you sharpen your skills and become more efficient than you could imagine. As you tighten down your schedule and handle your priorities first, you'll realize that you have not only time for your hobbies and yourself, but also your family and friends. Thanks to your new time management skills, you'll have the capability to be more present with the people who matter most. The key to creating time for what is most important, thanks to managing your time effectively, are prioritizing what is most urgent and essential. It's over the things that can wait. This can play into work life and personal life, but knowing what takes precedent will allow you room to schedule the things that you can defer. Creating small blocks of time for unavoidable delays will give you the extra freedom to meet your deadlines and get home to your loved ones on time. Making them feel important in your day will strengthen your relationships and bring you more confidence and integrity. Handling your stress and maintaining a healthy lifestyle gives you the stamina to tackle not only work responsibilities, but also personal relationships. You'll have the desire to do extra for the people you care most about. This can include things as simple as going to dinner and more extravagant things like setting aside time for vacations. The benefits of knowing how to manage your time effectively go beyond the measurable. Learning how to take care of yourself as you conquer your goals and still make time for other people in your life is a priceless quality. Implementing the schedule, less stressed, and able to take on more than you ever dreamed of. This is when you can start looking at the biggest goals of your life. And in order to stay on top of your tasks and priorities every day, especially if you want to achieve the impossible, you'll need to boost your productivity and capitalize on even more minutes. In the following chapter, we'll discuss 7 surprisingly simple life hacks that can give you the power to seize every minute of your productivity time. These life hacks will help you gain self-control over the things that consistently eat up your time. Now is the moment to rid yourself of the things that are holding you back once and for all. Chapter 8. Surprise life hacks to boost your productivity. Boosting your productivity is one of the best benefits of effectively managing your time. Everybody wants to save time when it comes to doing the hard work involved in our plans. We want to be as efficient as possible to get onto the things that bring us the most joy. Even with some of the key techniques outlined in this book, there are still ways that you can maximize your productivity while shaving off extra minutes from your schedule. These additional minutes you save during your day equate to time better spent in your passions and with your loved ones. Get up earlier. Typically, most people spend their evenings lounging and relaxing, and they have work to do the following day. In this case, you most likely won't have anything keeping you busy in the evenings, so instead of staying up late and sleeping in a little, go to bed at a good time and get up early. This extra hour or so in your morning can give you the time you need to prepare yourself for the workday. It also works well on your days off, especially when you have to tackle many obligations, even if they include your hobbies and passions. Spending this time doing simple, lightweight exercises that help your body warm up for the day at hand. You can also shower in the morning to refresh yourself and get your mind in the right positive space for your priorities. If you're more of a night owl and your work is in the evening, then you can still apply this technique. When you're finished with your work or hobbies, follow your schedule for your relaxation time so that you can unwind and detox from the stresses of the night. Don't stay out later than you need and set your alarm for a decent time so that you get plenty of sleep. Just because you work the late shift and get home at 2 or 3 in the morning doesn't mean that you need to sleep until noon. Make time for yourself, but stay on top of your schedule and maximize it to the fullest. Filter social feeds and emails. This is such a simple life hack that it almost always goes unnoticed. As we've discussed before, turning off our devices when we don't need them for work is one main way to minimize distractions and get things done. Sometimes, however, we work directly on our phones and we can't silence all notifications because we often network through social media with our colleagues. By filtering your feed on your social media accounts, you'll be able to stay focused on what you're working on without the additional distraction of celebrity gossip and random entertainment videos. The same goes for your emails. So often, we have spam emails that we didn't sign up for, newsletters for things that don't pertain to our priorities, and personal emails that don't necessarily require an immediate reply. By having a separate filter in your emails that will help you stay in contact with your colleagues for work, you'll be able to focus on your priorities and finish your to-do list without being distracted. In addition, these tactics are great for personal emails when you need to stay on top of your appointments and family obligations. For example, suppose you're handling doctor's appointments and soccer practice for your children instead of being distracted by marketing emails. In that case, you can also use the filtering system to keep track of your personal goals. You can have a filter for every aspect of your life. Use the 2-minute rule. Any new hobby or skill can potentially take months to learn and adapt to your schedule. Using the 2-minute rule, the idea is that you scale down your big activity so that you don't feel like it's too much of a challenge to take on. If you look at your activities or the ones you want to try, there is always some way to minimize it in a 2-minute block of time. With the 2-minute rule, instead of practicing yoga for 20 minutes every morning, you spend 2 minutes stretching out to warm up. The habit of stretching is like opening the door to the main activity you'd like to add to your schedule. These incremental steps get you on the right path to adding big life changes into your plan. Set up a theme. Creating a theme for your work week and personal life is an excellent way to manage your time and get more done. This tactic sharpens your focus as you assign themes to your days. The co-founder and CEO of Twitter and Square, Jack Dorsey, uses the same tactic for his own work week. He attributes his success to managing his days consistently, week after week, in a disciplined manner that has propelled him to the top of 2 S&P companies. His week is structured with Mondays for management, Tuesdays for products, Wednesdays for marketing, Thursdays for developers, and Fridays for company culture. You can replicate the same structure for your own work and your hobbies. Let's say, for example, you work a typical 5-day work week and have the weekends off. If you enjoy golfing and one of your goals is to tighten down your putting game, you can allot a block of time for this activity every Saturday afternoon. Your Saturday can be built around this hobby entirely, giving you the theme of physical activity and socializing. Over time, your life will change as you reach your goals and change your hobbies. And this can even change as the seasons do. But as with anything, consistency is key. If you want to try setting themes for your days, give it at least 3 to 4 weeks for you to settle in and see the real effects of it before you start tweaking your schedule. Complete the task. Don't perfect it. It isn't uncommon for highly successful people to want to perfect what they are doing. This is part of the reason why they become so successful. Sometimes, however, getting the task done and moving on to the next one to stay on top of your schedule is better than working at something for too long just to make it perfect. Spending too much time on something can actually have negative effects on your schedule, mainly because you could easily get burned out on what you're doing and want to give up. Keep in mind that finishing your task efficiently and productively will keep your quality of work at a high level, but there's no need to feel like it must be your best work. This is the same for your hobbies and personal relationships. If you've utilized the time management techniques we've covered, then you will have already built strong relationships, or at least be on the path to do so. There's no need to push yourself so far that you feel like you'll never accomplish anything, because you may believe that what you've done isn't good enough. But you are good enough. In fact, you're probably doing better than you think you are. Sometimes we have a bit of self-doubt, which can lead us to wanting to perfect things. But remember that a job done well is better than the promise of something great that may never happen. Procrastinate productively. We've already discussed that procrastination will not help you achieve your goals or maximize your time. But what if you could productively procrastinate for those moments when you just feel like you can't continue on the task you're on? This technique, also called two pots on the burner, is perfect for people who are often restless and do not like to focus or have difficulties focusing on one task for an extended period of time. Instead of scheduling one thing on your priority list, you create a time block for two different things of equal priority. The idea is that you work on one item for a little while, and when you start to feel restless or burned out, you switch to the other one for an equal amount of time. This isn't multitasking because, as we've already discussed, multitasking is actually detrimental to accomplishing your goals in a scheduled amount of time. Again, you aren't trying to do both things simultaneously. You simply have two things planned during the same block of time so that you can switch back and forth productively as you continue to work as efficiently as possible. These 6 life hacks will help you boost your productivity as you continue to sharpen your skills and make time for the things that matter most to you. Utilizing every tool that we've discussed will not only help you build the schedule that you need to accomplish your tasks, but you'll also recognize what takes priority over what does not. It's time to reflect on everything we've discussed and bring the plan together. The techniques for managing your time more efficiently can now be put in place as you build your schedule and actively seek out that elusive goal. Because if we're honest with ourselves, we're always after something, and it's our wasted time that keeps us from achieving that something. Let's head into the next chapter and finally and productively bring it all together. Chapter 9, Bringing It All Together. Look how far you've made it. You've learned so much from this book, and now it's time to put everything together and make the plan that will change your life. In this chapter, we'll be discussing how the techniques you've learned for time management can be implemented alongside the life hacks that will boost your productivity. In addition, it will highlight the traits of successful people that you'll need to follow through on this plan. So, if you're ready for the life you've been dreaming of, then let's get started. The basis of your plan. The very first thing that we did in this book was to identify your goals. Everyone, everywhere, has something they're working toward. And this is the thing that is pushing you to want to be more efficient in your work while boosting your productivity. With your goal written down, you can build your schedule as you set yourself up for success. As we've discussed back in the introduction, your strengths and weaknesses are the keys to making your plan succeed or fail. Here we take your list of strengths and weaknesses, and we implement those that will help you as we note what you'll need to work on as the basis of your plan. For example, Suppose you were trying to manage your time more efficiently, to excel beyond company expectations, and achieve that promotion. In that case, your strengths will be anything that's going to get you there. These could include high quality communication skills, the ability to work well under pressure, and exceptional work that always meets deadlines. Your weaknesses, which you'll need to work on if you expect to reach your goal, or ones that highlight areas where you'll need to rely on your colleagues and support network, would include anything that will prevent you from this promotion. If you choose to work on your skills and better yourself in the areas you know you lack, this must be included in your plan. Using the life hacks discussed in Chapter 8, you can create small time blocks in your schedule by minimizing time spent with other activities and applying that time to these skills. If you expect to improve, you must take the time to actively pursue improvement. Prioritize your tasks with the Eisenhower Matrix. In Chapter 4, we discuss the Eisenhower Matrix. This method of pinpointing your most urgent and important priorities will help you clear away the clutter and direct your focus to the things that matter most. With the Eisenhower Matrix, we utilize the four-step system of do, defer, delegate, and delete. If you'll remember, to achieve success, we can't always do everything ourselves. This is when the Eisenhower Matrix truly shines. We learn what it is we must do and what it is we simply cannot do. The more you push yourself to do things that you know you cannot accomplish, the more likely you are to procrastinate or get burned out. If you wish to complete your list for the day and stay on schedule, you cannot allow yourself to fall into this trap. In keeping with the promotion analogy, let's say that you have a list of tasks that must be accomplished to finish the day strong. Among these tasks are attending a marketing meeting, sending emails to colleagues, reaching out to a client, and reviewing your notifications. With this list of tasks, it's easy to see how to prioritize making the most of our time and avoid wasting minutes that only hinder productivity. In this example, the marketing meeting is something that you would defer or schedule for a later time. When that time comes up, it becomes your number one priority. But at the beginning of your day, this is the item you defer. Sending emails to your colleagues would be something you could delegate. It doesn't necessarily mean that you don't have the skills for it, but someone else can help you save time in your schedule. When it comes to reviewing your notifications, unless these are strictly work-related and have importance to the marketing meeting, for example, these are things you delete. In other words, grabbing your phone and scanning through your notifications just to see that someone posted a new video is not going to help you in any way to accomplish what is most important and most urgent. The last thing, reaching out to a client, would be the thing that you'd need to do immediately. In this setting, the client is most important because they are the purpose of the job at hand. Their happiness would in turn become your happiness, so it's vital that the client would be most urgent and most important. Along with the base schedule that you've begun to create, adding in your daily priorities with the help of the Eisenhower Matrix will allow you to prioritize what must be done and get rid of the things that will not help you be successful today. The time blocks you've allotted for work can now be broken down into smaller increments that you will apply to these priorities. You'll find that your workday, which might typically be 8 hours, can easily tighten down to half that time when focusing strictly on the things that matter most. Adding time for yourself. In Chapter 7, we discuss the benefits of managing your time in your career and personal life. Creating these time blocks for yourself is essential in ensuring that you will follow through with the goals you've set and reap the benefits that you so deserve. The hobbies and activities that you enjoy that we discussed in Chapter 2 are vital to increasing your passion and optimism in life. Keeping with your list of the things that you enjoy in order to find pleasure and relax from your day, create small time blocks in your schedule at various times of the day so that you not only have something to look forward to, but also have time where you know you'll be able to focus on you. Aside from these hobbies, you must also ensure that you have enough time to take care of yourself with the basic things that everyone must do. These are the things like personal hygiene, exercise, and necessary appointments to keep yourself healthy and happy. Keep up on these activities and make them a top priority. You'll feel the benefits both mentally and physically. Creating opportunities to utilize your traits. Chapter 6 was all about the 10 traits of highly successful people. These traits are necessary if you wish to achieve the goal you're after, but they are only possible if you truly understand how to manage your time most effectively. Not everybody will indeed have all 10 traits, but with a little practice, you'll be able to utilize the ones you have as you exceed your potential for success. Having the same traits as successful people without using them will only weaken your skills. Instead, you need to allow yourself time to sharpen these skills and showcase them when needed. For example, if you're holding that marketing meeting from our previous analogy, make a note to showcase your successful traits as sociability and patience. The meeting will allow you to prove to others that you can handle situations like this and that you're ready for the promotion you seek. When you know that you're good at it, delegating something like this would take away a prime opportunity for you to capitalize on the exact tasks that will propel you to the future you desire. Likewise, having the integrity to appreciate and thank the people who help you, such as the person who will help you with the emails, is another opportunity in a different way to use and showcase your skills. Enlisting life hacks for optimal performance. As you tighten down your schedule and section off blocks of time for the tasks at hand, do not forget to enlist the life hacks that will help you shave off even more minutes from your busy schedule. Remember that successful people who understand time management and get the most out of their days know how to fine-tune every task for maximum productivity. Chapter 8 discusses several key tricks that could significantly influence your schedule. Among these tricks was filtering out your social feeds and emails to help you stay on task and focused on your priority list. We all use our devices in everything we do throughout our days. You can simplify your feeds so you don't get distracted by unnecessary content. In addition, remember to make it your goal to complete your task, but that you don't need to perfect it in your schedule. Make enough time to do this, but don't go to extremes, or you'll be spending unnecessary time on tasks that you can already mark off your list. And finally, do not fall into the trap of multitasking, as that will actually cost you time rather than saving it. If you get overwhelmed or bored with something, you can procrastinate productively by switching to another task. Knowing your limits. Remember, as you're putting together your schedule and giving yourself time for certain priorities, you must always know your limitations. If you ever feel like you're pushing yourself too hard, then you most likely are. This is a common mistake when people try to optimize their time. Pushing yourself to meet nearly impossible deadlines is not good time management. You'll find that you're exhausted and that you want to give up, even on the dream that you've been chasing. Do not do this to yourself. When you first begin to create your schedule, if you feel that you can complete something in a certain amount of time, give yourself an extra 10 minutes. This early tactic will save you stress and anxiety if you come to a point where you discover that you are struggling to meet those deadlines. If you find that you need less time, then this is a good thing. The following week, you can tighten down your schedule as you start to notice some new strengths that you may not have accounted for. In a similar aspect, in the areas where you are struggling, make a note of these weaknesses and either plan to work at these skills or delegate. Remember that you don't have to tackle everything by yourself. A network of like-minded colleagues and friends can be your biggest asset, especially when you're working towards something as important as a life goal or a content feed.
We appreciate you tuning in to one of our captivating audiobooks. For more immersive experiences, here is another audiobook we're certain you'll enjoy. Don't forget to show your support by liking this video, sharing what you loved about this audiobook in the comments section below, and subscribing for more captivating audiobooks like this. Thanks for being a part of our audiobook community.